I'm just getting my live streams up. All right, so I got YouTube up. Let me go ahead and close that. All right, cool. I got YouTube up. I just gotta go ahead and get my Instagram up, and I'll be ready to go ahead and take guests. All right, I'm just about ready to take guests. And like I said, y'all, if y'all disagree with anything I got on the on the screen, y'all go ahead and come on up, and we can go ahead and definitely talk about it and have a good conversation.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Hey, how's it going? Can I have your age for TikTok purposes?
Of course, 50.
How's it going? All right. So, do you disagree with something I have on the page?
No, I don't really disagree. I just need a brief understanding. On the very bottom, it's a democratic socialism and capitalism. Could you explain that, please?
Yeah, democratic socialism is essentially a system where we try to achieve socialism through democratic means, and through social democracy. Basically, we make society better through measures of social democracy.
Okay, is that versus capitalism? Is that what that is?
It's greater than.
Greater than. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, can you give me one example of how you would put that together? The socialism, how it, well, like, give me one example.
What do you mean?
Okay,
Like
so
a policy?
yeah, or like a method of operation or a protocol or a system, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, one of the first obvious ones is universal healthcare. You know what I mean? And we can do that right now. As a matter of fact, we can do universal healthcare right now. The only reason that we don't do it is because of the military-industrial complex. They don't want to give up that money. So we can do that right now. Just open up Medicare to everybody because essentially we're paying for universal healthcare. We're just not getting it. So that's what we can do first. Essentially, just open up Medicare for everybody, and boom, you have universal health care. The second thing that we would do is, yeah, we would significantly reduce the amount of interference excuse me, the amount of military interference that we do around the country, because that's essentially not around the country, around the planet, because that's essentially not needed anymore. We would I believe in instituting at least a minimum basic income for people who either cannot work, or even just for everybody, because we have enough to do it. But if that doesn't work, we can do things to like end poverty. Basically, in order to end poverty, what we would do is invest into actual housing people instead of just criminalizing them. Policies like that.
Got you. Okay, so in my email, I get different types of statistics and business information, and it says that the American public pays into the government on during tax time $12 trillion. So, so in my opinion, you would have to like throw out the old budget and start fresh to do your program, and then you would have to say, okay, out of get the calculator out if you have to, right? Start deducting from that 12 trillion to cover some of the programs that you think are necessary. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, that's fine. That sounds fine. There's lots of waste that we know goes in the government. I mean, the Pentagon failed their audit like what, 6 7 times. So yeah, sure. There's plenty that we can go through to get rid of some programs. And one of the thing about the universal basic income is that if we were to like take food stamps, Medicaid, cash assistance, and even SSI, and just roll them all into just one program, we could basically give all Americans $1,000 a month, no questions asked. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's what I would rather do, tell you the truth, instead of like, because I used to work in social services. I actually don't like the way that we do it. I think we should just give everybody a UBI, a universal basic income, and just do it that way. And if you spend your $1,000 that month on coke and blow, that's on you. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
Just do it
right.
like that. Of course, now there are, other measures out there. There are, people who are disabled. $1,000 a month is not going to do much for them. You know what I mean? Of course, people like that, we need to do more for them. There are people who are just bedbound, our elderly people. $1,000 a month is not going to do anything for them, especially if they live in a city. I grew up in a big city. I grew up in Miami, Florida, a very big city, lots of cost of living. Of course, there are things that we can do more for people that are like that. You know what I mean? But for the basic average person, they might not be able to live lavishly, but they will be able to live. And it has been shown that when you actually house homeless people or give them money for housing, they actually do get housing. Most homeless people are not just, these irresponsible heroin addicts that's out in the street doing nothing.
Right. Well, I don't disagree with you that they do get housing, but there has been also different cities have tried that program and they've abandoned it because they said it doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work is because people get too comfortable and they don't go to work, right? So the income was not meant to say here's just $1,000 to pay your bills. You have to be able to do something with that $1,000. I think I personally wouldn't have a problem with that as long as somebody contributed. Not everybody can contribute because you mentioned a couple of groups of people that can't because they're bedbound or elderly, couldn't do it. But like young people like your age would be able to work to be able to keep that universal income because it shouldn't be just a free giveaway because people take advantage.
The last study that I found, which was the one I was actually just mentioning, they actually showed that when they actually did do the program, they actually gave it straight to homeless people, and they found that most of them actually got housing and most of them actually got jobs after they were able to get to housing. You see what I'm saying? So that's actually what convinced me that it actually would work.
Well, that's weird. Well, maybe maybe what it could be is they have different results in different cities, because I know that I've seen them do it on the West Coast, and they said, and also other places, but if they said it didn't work. But if that particular city works, then I would want to say, what are you guys doing that makes it work? Where you can give people money, and they do get a job, and they do keep their job, as opposed to people not doing their stuff. All
Right,
right.
exactly. I mean, homelessness is a complex like thing, so
It
it's
is.
not gonna be a simple solution. So yeah, we could definitely take a look at a lot of these things and see what works and see what doesn't, and try to solve these issues instead of just criminalizing homeless people in poverty. You feel me?
I agree. I don't disagree with you. Thank you for your time.
Hey, not a problem. I appreciate you being up.
I'm seeing a lot of topics up here, and I'm scrolling down thinking about which one is most important to comment on. So
Sure.
I'll just ask you this, and maybe people in the comments could answer this as well.
Well, talk to me. Don't talk to the
That's
comments because
on.
trust me, it gets very distracting. Just trust me on that.
Okay.
But
Well, what's
first
your
thing,
sorry, go
gotcha.
ahead.
First thing I want to ask you is you over 18 for TikTok purposes?
38 years of age.
38. Okay, cool. Do you necessarily disagree with anything I got on the board or want to talk to me about?
Um, I do question whether America was ever great. I mean, as far as the people in charge, there's all corruption. You may find good pros and cons, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of selfishness. They don't particularly care about the individual. They only care about whatever they're going to try to benefit from us. But
Right.
what's your position on goat fucking? I read in the Bible that some religions are into it. I'm not particularly for squirrels and stuff like that. The people in the Middle Eastern, from what I've heard, have relationships with these animals.
All right.
You
All right.
know,
Hold on, Michael. Are you trolling me right now, or are you
well,
being serious?
I'm just saying. I don't know if you heard about the Iraq situation. The legal age for a man to marry a woman now is 9 years old. So
Right. Right. Okay. So like we can talk about that, but like we're
okay.
not we're not gonna pretend that a whole people are like a whole group of people are just into bestiality. Let's not
Well,
do it.
I tend to believe that the people in government are the real animals, and if they're making love to the animals, then the animals are more human than the actual humans. You understand?
Okay, great. All right, but let's stick to what's going on up here.
Yes, sir.
You want to go ahead and talk about America was never great, right?
It's hard for me to recall a time. I mean, it depends on what we consider great. Let's put it this way: it wasn't consistently great. I mean, there's moments that we can all, and this goes for life in general. Like, I could look at my life and go, "Wow, that time in my life was great." But I go, "Was my life ever really great?" I could go, "Yeah, maybe for a year, but entirely." I would have to say no. I don't think it ever was. I think there was always some type of war. There was corruption. There's homelessness. There's people that passing away. There's new pandemics now. There's all sorts of stuff going on. So
All right, cool. So America was never great. We
never.
agree there. So I think being woke is good. Do you think being woke is bad?
I think being aware is better than being woke. I try not to label things. I think if people have facts, they're entitled to just be someone who is smart and
What
not
does being
woke.
woke mean to you?
Well, a lot of times people on the left side are called woke because to me, it's almost like they're saying things that the right will disagree with simply because they say, "Oh, they're just woke." They're feeding into something that's not true, something that doesn't exist. And the left could say that about the right. That's another reason America's never great because we're called United States of America, but we have a left and a right side. So
Well, you said that being aware is good. Well, being woke is being aware. So we agree there. Now,
yeah,
so
I'd rather
reparations.
use aware as the word. Go ahead.
No, the reason why I use woke is because like that's what black people came up with, and that's what we always meant by it. And the only reason that's been bastardized is because conservatives heard a college white student, conservatives heard college white students say it, and now all of a sudden it's a bad thing. So it's that's why I just use woke because it's I don't want to muddy the waters. But anyway, reparations for African Americans. You agree?
That's a touchy subject. I mean, look, those people who actually deserve the reparations are no longer living. If there's someone who can connect, who is connected with someone who back in the day deserved them, I don't know. I don't believe in hey, my ancestors from 100 years ago went through this, so I should get reparations because the 100 years later, those people lived in the same America as everyone else that everyone had the same chance at.
Let me
So
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How long ago was you know Rudy Bridges, right? The first person to integrate elementary school.
I'm not familiar, sir.
All right. Well, you do know that schools used to be segregated, right?
Yes.
All right. The first person to integrate an elementary school, her name is Rudy Bridges. Do you know how old she is?
She's alive, I imagine, still, right?
She's still alive.
I would imagine she's maybe possibly in her 80s or 90s,
She's about 67.
67 years old.
Right. Which means that this wasn't that long ago, was it?
Well, it's around the 56 time, wasn't it?
Right. So this wasn't that long time ago, right?
If we're talking about slavery, I know Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, and that was a long
Right.
time ago.
We understand that. But when we talk about reparations, it's not just about slavery. It's also about what I'm talking about. Things like segregation, which held people back socially and politically and economically. Because under segregation, a black person or most black people just couldn't own homes in the first place. And owning a home is how you build generational wealth, which is why the average wealth of a white family and a black family are so disparate. All that makes sense, and that's the reason why African Americans would need reparations to keep up.
With the flip side, and this goes for other ethnicities, there is a demographic of African Americans who are just incapable of making a life for themselves and doing things the right way. 13% of the country, 50% of the crime. I mean, they're not exactly helping themselves out either.
We're not 50% of the crime.
I think it's like 35 or something. I'd have to look it up. I know it's majority. I
What
go by
causes crime?
the.
What do you think causes crime?
I think the fact that their father doesn't come home from getting that milk a lot of times.
You know that
And
was proven false, right?
pardon me.
You know that was proven false, right?
I don't think it is proven for. I mean, listen. I
Have you
live.
ever read the CDC study about black fathers and the fact that they spend the most time with their children out of all of the ethnicities?
I try not to get too much. I go with personal experience. I live in a suburban area, but I grew up in a neighborhood, a big city where that was pretty much the norm, unfortunately. And
I
they
got you, but you
they
realize,
had to
Michael,
learn from the guys in the street, and they weren't
understood.
exactly.
Understood. I understand your personal experience, Michael, but you understand that personal experience may be biased, correct?
You're saying my personal experience is biased based off of that?
No, your personal experience causes your entire worldview to be biased because in my personal experience, all the black men had fathers. So does that mean that I'm right and you're wrong?
Are you in a suburban neighborhood? Or are you in inner city neighborhood?
I
Yeah,
grew up in the inner city.
there are a lot of men that are not present, and it's not. And it doesn't stop there either. It's all about joining these gangs. I don't see a lot of white men in suburban areas joining gangs unless it's like a chess club or something. But
You'll be surprised.
they are still the majority of the crime rate. And
Who are
if
the
they
majority
want
of the crime rate?
reparations, they're gonna have
Wait,
to behave themselves.
who's the majority of the crime rate?
African Americans.
Wrong.
As far as the murder rates, if you look at it,
Don't please don't use the word, please.
I'm
Use another
trying. I'm
word.
trying to get around it.
Yeah, say unaliving. Yeah, as
They're
far as
hurting each other more than
yes,
anything.
yeah, the unaliving rate, yeah, but that's only the arrest rates.
And
Do
that's
white
very
people
significant.
do white people unalive other white people?
Of course they do. Of course.
Okay, do they get arrested for it?
Yeah. And when it comes to these
Wait,
these
Michael,
school
Listen,
situations,
hold on, Michael. Listen to my question. Do they get arrested for it?
who?
White people.
To my knowledge, they get arrested just the same. I mean, some
They don't.
people get
That's the
some
problem.
people get away, some people don't. Some people get convicted, some people don't.
But that's the problem, Michael. White people who unalive black people, white people do unaliving just as much as black people do. What the FBI statistics shows is arrests. Black people are just arrested more. White people are not arrested as much as black people are.
Because they are not committing such crimes.
Do you think if I commit a crime right now, am I going to get arrested for it just because I commit a crime? You can commit a crime
If you are
you can commit
caught
a you real hold on, Michael. You realize that you can commit a crime and not get arrested for it, right?
I mean, yeah, if you're not caught and you're not tried and convicted,
Even when
so
you're caught.
I don't understand the question because
Okay,
you're saying
let's
I
listen.
committed a crime. They
Okay,
caught
so
me,
listen.
but
So
they're
listen.
gonna
All
let me
right,
go.
hold on. I'll explain it this way. The majority of people, especially black people who are in prison right now, are in prison for drug offenses, right? Because they got caught with drugs, correct?
Yeah,
So here's the issue. What research, meaning decades and decades of research, has shown that white people and black people use drugs at the same amount. Not only use drugs the same amount, but white people actually are more likely to possess drugs higher than black people. Black people, like white people, will actually possess more drugs. They're caught
that I
more.
agree with.
Hold on, wait. They caught more with drug possession. But who's in jail for mostly for drug possession? Is it white people or black people?
It's probably white people, but if
It's
we're
black
comparing,
people. Okay, okay, Michael, wrong.
well,
It's
let
black
me
people.
just
Hold
finish
on,
this.
listen, that's
You're not
wrong.
letting me
It's black
finish.
people.
So
Let me just explain this to you.
the only thing I want to
I'm
finish
just trying.
is
Hold on. I'm just trying to explain to you what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, so so we have an issue with the criminal justice system here, because if white people and black people are committing the same crime at the same rate, and some crimes white people are even committing it more than black people, but black people are in prison more for that crime, what does that say about the criminal justice system? It just means that they're not looking at white people, doesn't it?
what I'm trying to tell you is if we're comparing drugs to people being unalived, I'm talking about the most significant and dangerous and violent of crimes, violent crimes. And when it comes to people being ended on this earth, statistics show it's African Americans that hold the majority of those things. And a lot
No,
of
it
times it's in
no,
their
it
own
doesn't.
neighborhoods with their own people.
It does not.
I don't see a lot of white people hurting unless it's like a personal issue. There's a lot of gang related
What do you think?
violence.
What do you think most unalivings are in these neighborhoods? They're personal. Have you even said that you grew up in this neighborhood? Doesn't that mean that you know that?
Well, I was young when I grew it. I'm not going around doing a general consensus here, but
All
from
right.
what
Well, I grew up in these neighborhoods. Everyone, people that I know grew up in these type of neighborhoods. So and we have media that's in these type of neighborhoods. We know a lot of these issues are personal. Most of these are personal issues. Like if you even like just talk to somebody from the hood, they'll even tell you, yeah, this person that shot that person, yeah, they knew each other. They knew each other from the cradle.
is this argument that white, are you trying to argue that white people are more at fault for these things than African Americans?
I don't know why you brought that up. What are you
Because
talking about?
you're keep defending the fact that statistics don't matter when it comes to
I didn't say statistics don't
African,
matter.
but
I said
African Americans hold the majority, and you're trying to
I didn't say
dispute it.
statistics don't matter, Michael. I said that your conclusion from the statistics are flawed.
Those aren't
Which
my
the FBI
statistics, though.
I'm saying the conclusion you're taking is what's the problem. I didn't say that the statistics are wrong. I said the conclusion you're taking is wrong.
But when you went to give me the drug statistics, you're right though. It's like either statistics are accurate or they're not. And
Bro, did you hear what I said? Like I'm gonna repeat this one more time. I did not say that the statistics are wrong. I'm saying your conclusion from that statistic is wrong.
you got a lot of people like you in the comment section not understanding. Like I understand there's a lot of African American people. I'm not trying like literally I have like my closest friends are African American, so I'm not trying to like downgrade anybody or disrespect
Denigrate.
anybody. I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm saying downgrade as in like you're less and I'm more. Or like I'm not trying to say that. I know a lot of really educational, lovely people that are. In fact, those are the only people I kind of like because
Right. I'm sure you do. I
white
understand all
folks
that,
have
but I
been
don't.
more disrespectful towards me. I'm half Spanish, so I grew up in a predominantly Irish neighborhood where I was bullied all the time, and the people who didn't were African American. Those are the
Right.
ones that I
Right.
got along with.
I'm sure you did. That's wonderful. But what
I'm
I'm
not
saying
trying
is
to. I'm
that
not trying to like make it look like the black man is at fault.
I got
For,
you. I understand. I understand,
we're
Michael.
talking about
What I'm saying.
reparations here, and I'm
Right, we're talking
saying
about reparations. What I'm saying is that reparations is not just for slavery, it's also for Jim Crow, it's also for redlining, it's also for mass incarceration, it's also for black codes, it's also for things like that. It's not just for slavery. And if you're gonna say that black people don't deserve or shouldn't get reparations because of the crime rate, that's silly.
no, no,
Because
no.
where this crime comes from.
I'm saying that because of the crime rate, what have they learned since that time? It's not like we've been over here being good people waiting for those reparations. A lot of people don't deserve those reparations. Do I don't generalize. Do some people? Can some people remember that time? Or people like you said, that woman 60 something? People around her age or older
Yes,
probably do.
of course they can
Probably
remember
do.
the time.
Does a 13, does a 15, or let's put it this way, does a 19-year-old young man deserve it? Probably not.
Why not?
Do his grandparents? Probably.
Why does a 19-year-old deserve it?
Because he didn't endure anything except his own life in a different era.
Did what was he
It has no
affected by
effect
the
on him. It might be an
Are you sure?
extension of him.
Are you sure?
Let me finish my thought. If that's if only because he's an extension of it. If it's up to his grandparents or great grandparents that actually lived through it, and they want to share that wealth, then fine. If you're talking about reparations by money, I mean, if they're motivated by getting reparations with money, then that's up to them. But I don't think it should just go to anybody. I mean, I grew up in the same world. I grew up with a lot of hardships too, but I'm not asking for anything. I'm just trying to make a good life for myself. People in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s who were literally witnessing and experiencing that, they have a case to make for themselves.
Michael.
20-year-old kid does not.
Michael, that doesn't tell me why a 19-year-old shouldn't get it. That doesn't tell me that at all.
It does, just because he's an extension of it. But
Yeah.
what did he go through?
Hold
in
on,
order to
listen,
get it?
listen, Michael. Yes, he's an extension of it. If redlining, if he's living in the projects because his grandfather was redlined, that means that it affects him. So why shouldn't he get it because he wasn't his grandfather? That makes no sense. If his grandfather was redlined and then and his grandfather had to live in Southside Chicago, and because of that, his father grew up in Southside Chicago, and therefore he was born in Southside Chicago, it was because of the redlining that he's in the projects now in Southside Chicago. So why shouldn't he get reparations?
He should get reparations because he's in Southside Chicago.
He should get reparations because of what happened to his grandfather that affected him.
It should go to his grandfather, and it's his
What if his
grandfather.
grandfather's dead? What happens?
Then it should go to what do they call that? What do they call it? It's a legal term.
An estate?
An estate.
Right. So
owns that? But it ain't gonna
so
be
who
the
would get the
20-year-old.
estate? Would his family? Would he not still get the estate?
Okay, so sir, that's circumstantial.
No, it's not. That's how
Because you
that's
said
how
he
it'll
was dead.
work.
You said he was dead. I'm talking about people that are alive. Like if first of all, if he's a grandfather, it wouldn't go to the grandson. If his mother's still alive or someone that let's say
It'll
he has
likely go to the mother or the father. I
he has
understand
multiple
that. But
kids.
right, but it'll likely go to the mother or the father. The fact of the matter is, it'll still go to the descendants, whether it or not.
He's not third, fourth, or fifth in line. It shouldn't be up to him solely. It shouldn't be like, hey, I'm 20 years old. I applied for reparations because my grandfather went through blah, blah, blah. How can they even prove it if he's dead? They got to go back. There's the documents they probably couldn't even find back then.
Every African American's parents went through redlining. All of
The
them.
only proof is that he's alive. Like they'll go,
Duh.
well, if he's dead, how
Bruh,
you gonna prove anything?
hold on. Every single
Don't
African,
treat me like I'm
every
stupid.
every single Black American in this country is a descendant of slaves, bro. All of them are descendant of people who lived through Jim Crow. All of them are descendant of people who went through redlining. All of them.
Let me ask you this: were Black people the only type of slaves in the world? Just Black people?
We're not talking about the world.
We're only to see see.
We're not talking about the world,
You're
dude.
solely focused on African Americans.
Yes, because where do we live? Where do we live?
This is-
Where do we live, Mike? Where do we live?
Yeah, and who was here first?
Where
sir?
do we live? Where do we live?
Who did,
Where do we
who
live?
did we? Who did we?
Where
end?
do we live?
We live in America. Whose lives did we?
Okay, yeah, we live in
lives
we live
did
in America. Yeah, exactly. We live in
You're talking
America.
over
So
me
don't
because
tell
you
me,
know I'm gonna
don't
make a
ask me about the rest of the world. We live in America.
It
Yes, the
doesn't
first
matter.
people that yes, it does matter because we're
you
talking
all
about
came
reparations in
here.
America.
Where did African Americans come from?
They came from slavery. What the fuck? They came from
Where did they
Africa.
originate? Where did you
Africa.
originate from?
Africa. They can't
How the
originate in
fuck did
Africa.
you get here then?
Slavery. The fuck? What are you talking about?
And who was and Black people were the only ones that were slaves? Do you know the Indians were here and we unalived them?
The Indians were given reparations, sir.
What kind of reparations were they given? An axe to the head?
Well, in the United States, they go to college for free. They live on land for free.
No, they don't. Show me documents they do anything for free.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
That is the big.
I'm
that is
sorry.
the biggest
I'm
crock
sorry
of
I
shit
cut
on
in.
this
Hold-
fucking-
I'm sorry. Let me be quiet. Let me let you go ahead. I just couldn't take it.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so then what you're saying is you don't know really you don't know how the Native Americans were handled.
I know how they were
They
handled.
signed. You don't know about the treaties that they signed and how it affects them today, right? So you don't know that Native Americans in this country go to college for free.
No, they don't.
Okay,
No, they don't. No, they do not.
all right.
You're insane. You're a crazy person.
No, natives do go to college for free, but they have to be on the reservations, and they got screwed. They got
Exactly.
very, very screwed.
It's circumstantial. I'm not generalizing either. I'm not going, she's sitting there going, Native Americans get there for free, as if it's to say every single one of them. I'm not generalizing. There are circumstantial situations where things.
All right, everybody pause. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. All right, I do see everybody who's in the guest box right now. Y'all,
A lot of African Americans in that.
Y'all
box.
stay. Be quiet for a second, Michael. All y'all just be patient with me. I'm gonna let Michael down in a moment because like I know I've had him up here for a while. I'm gonna get another person who's an op up here. Joel, I do see that you're in the comments crashing out, so I'm gonna bring you up first. Valerie and Lizzie, I know y'all want to speak with Michael next. I had issues with my mic. I do apologize for that. We do have 136 people in here, 5.8K likes. Michael, I got to give you about maybe 5 or 10 more minutes, and I got to let you down.
That's
all right?
fine. If we could bring someone up that's sort of in agreement with what I'm trying to say and can enlighten or give their take on it instead of me being attacked by every African American in the comment section. I'm not generalizing.
Ain't
And
no,
I'm
ain't
not
no,
saying nobody deserves anything. I'm saying if you
yeah. I got tired. I think I got tired. Sorry, Valerie and Lizzie. I know y'all wanted to go ahead, but I think my mod let the person down. Let's get some W Jonesy stickers. If you don't have a sticker, it's because you got to subscribe to me. All right, W Jonesy in the chat. All right, Lizzie, Valerie, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm sorry. I know y'all wanted to respond, but she already let him down before anything. But maybe we'll go ahead and get to this next one. All right, Joel, you there?
Yes.
All right, Joel, are you over 18 for TikTok purposes?
Yes.
All right. Do you disagree with anything I have on the board?
Yeah, a couple of them. But
A
first,
couple of them. All right, cool. So
if
go
you,
ahead.
do you call yourself African American? Just, just to
I'm actually
clarify.
Haitian. I'm actually Haitian.
Okay. Then you're Israelite. But I'm saying most people say Black American, right, or African American, correct?
Yeah, most people say Black American.
General.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how can you be from two countries? That doesn't make any sense.
How do you be from two countries? What do you mean?
Yeah. How you American and African? Two different countries, correct?
Africa's not a country. What do you mean?
Africa is a country. We're talking about. There's countries in Africa, but the continent of Africa.
Right.
You're saying you're
I'm not
American.
sure. I'm not sure what you're asking, bro.
No, I don't like when people say black. That's a crayon color. That's not a
Okay,
race.
who cares? What do you want to talk about?
Excuse me.
I don't really care, bro. What do you want to talk about?
Did you say you don't care about what? Black? You call
I
black?
don't care about the semantics of this. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, it's just semantics. So, that makes no sense. I go by what the Bible says. So then, what Mike was saying was everything he was saying is inside the
What would
Bible.
you like to talk about, bro?
No, never mind, man. You don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't
I
because you're
just don't
going
want. I
off on
don't have to go
semantics.
back to elementary school to tell you what's going on. I mean, you should already know.
I'm a black person. I'm Haitian, and
Black is
I
not
identify
black is not a race.
with
Black is
the
not a
African
race.
American community. Well,
Black is
let's
a
move
crayon.
on.
Black
I
is a crayon
don't
color.
care. What do you want to talk about,
Black
dude?
is not a race.
I do not care. What do you want to talk about?
I care. That's
So
why That's why you asked me a question.
hold
I'm trying to
on.
tell you,
Pause.
I don't like when you-
Pause. This is my fucking live. We're not gonna talk about what you want to talk about. We're gonna talk about what I want to talk about. Pick something on the board, you dumbass. All right, let's move on to the next person. Sorry about that, Valerie and Lizzie.
That's all right.
Kay, I do see you. All right, give me a few moments. W, W, and whichever mod let down, kick that person off. W Jonesy, I think. Ooh, she don't play, y'all. She don't play. All right, DP the goat, is that you?
Yeah, DP the God.
DP the god. There we go.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
DP.
I just wanted to give a point of clarification. The
Gotcha.
other guy got off on the whole indigenous person school thing, and just a point of clarification because I work in education. There are states that
Right.
do and universities that do allow indigenous people to go to school for free. It depends on if they can prove what tribe they're from and exactly how much indigenous blood they have in them. So yes, not all, not every state, but there are some states and institutions that do allow indigenous students to attend college for free.
Appreciate
Just wanted
you.
to clarify that.
Gotcha.
So when the guy was saying that they don't, he's clearly mistaken. He
Right,
doesn't know
gotcha.
what he's talking about.
Gotcha. I appreciate you, DP the god. Thank you for. I love education, so thank you for educating us. Appreciate you.
There you go. All right, my brother.
All right, brother. All right, walk on by and bring you up. K, I'm gonna bring you up next. Oh, that was K that kicked the last person out. All right, WK. Appreciate you being up here, DP Kadad. DP the God. Ooh. Sorry about that. Okay, walk on by. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
You blanked out on that last guy. What he was trying to do is use what my brother does, is term black to just debunk all the fact that we're actually black. And it's a social term. That's all I just got.
You're actually a little muffled. I can't hear you well now.
All right, hold up. Can you hear me? You
All
hear
right,
me
now,
better?
yeah, that's a lot better. All right, so are you over 18, and do you disagree with anything I have on the board?
Yeah, I wanted clarification on America was never great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm over 18. Hopefully I sound like I'm over 18.
Yeah,
But
that's got everybody.
can you clarify America was never great? What you mean by that?
Yeah, what I mean by that is that greatness to a country to me is not just its economic abilities, but also its society and its social constructs, essentially. And in a society, if there are people who are treated like second class citizens, if your opportunity is affected by not only your skin color, but by your sexual orientation, your gender identity, and your social economics, if all those things affect what opportunities that you get, and there are people who are treated as second class citizens, and you also have systems that have that discriminate against one population, and you do nothing about it to fix that, then a country can never be great, and that's what America has.
So you're saying America was never great. Is this and it just if you don't mind, is this against sort of the "Make America Great Again" sort of Trump slogan?
is.
It is. Okay. And you disagree with Trump and his policies?
Yes.
All right. So I don't like Trump either, but I do like what he's doing in America. And I think in the context of reality, right? The reality is that America is a white man's land. They took it over from the natives, and America came from them. So the context is that they're trying to get back to that America. And so I think a lot of times black people, we don't keep it in the context. We were never meant to be on the same level as them. The wokeism is against, what they felt like great America was. And so, but why can't we?
They?
What's that?
Who is they that you keep talking about?
White people. White people.
Okay. So there's a white people club that gets together.
Yeah.
That you
All
don't
right,
know about?
hold on, y'all. Pause.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you,
I talk
host.
one by one.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody pause. I'll talk one by one. All right. Evolving. I do see you. No problem. Evolving. And how do I say your name up there? United.
It's actually, yeah, I love that. I might change it to that pronunciation, but no, it's Eunoia. You had it the first time. My name is Ethan, though.
Ethan. All right, cool. Everybody just pause and mute up for me. Evolving. I do see you. Just give me a second. All right. All right. So walk on by. When you're saying that America is quote unquote a white man's land, yeah, I understand that, but the ideology that you are kind of explaining right now is white supremacy. And if we're in a white supremacist country, how can that be greatness? That's not great. Because supremacist ideologies are never great.
I don't think anybody.
Definition.
Wait, we got a lot of people. Let me know.
No, go ahead. Everybody try to pause. I know I'm gonna get to each of y'all. Just give me a second. I know y'all wanna respond to this as well. Because we had Valerie up here and Evolving. I'm pretty sure wants to respond to. But yeah, walk on by. Go ahead.
All right, I'm not saying that we would agree to America being great. I'm saying that we shouldn't lie to ourselves. That what the white people, are talking about, the white man, the Christian, Anglo-Saxon white founder, they want those times back, where everybody's subject to. That's the greatness that they're talking about. But we don't need to fool ourselves. And I think what we're trying to do is force them into something that they didn't found, right?
Oh, okay. Now I see what you mean. So the people.
Okay, I'm gonna just lay my plane. I promise. So
Yeah, gotcha.
So the fight that we have is more focused on trying to change somebody than come in like the Chinese person, if you will, the Mexican, and just really focus on. So I know you've heard this argument before, and really focus on self. And look at the Arabs' prosperity. Do you think they run out every 4 years to vote But I'm from New York, from Westchester County, very close to the Bronx, and they owned every bodega that exists. The Indians own 7-Elevens, and they're not begging the white man for nothing and coming up with all. They're looking at the opportunities that are here, and they're taking advantage of those opportunities. I think for us, and
Okay.
I'm black, we are constantly missing the mark by focusing on trying to change somebody. I
Okay.
think your one more thing.
Pause for me.
Your change will come when you get some credibility, when you
Gotcha.
get some economics, and get some education to really make a stance.
Okay, pause for me. All right. Um, when I say America was never great, I understand that the people who created the entire term, Trump and them, and Heritage Foundation, all of them, we know what they're talking about, right? We know what they mean. They're talking about like conquering, basically conquest, basically the white man on top. They're saying that some policymaker that Trump just hired, he even said tweeted that out. So he's saying the quiet part out loud. We know that's what they mean, right? Who I'm really talking to are the people like the last guest that I had up, the people who make America great again and don't see the racial connotations towards it. You know what I mean? Which is why I forced them to see it when I say America was never great, because according to them, they always view America as a shining city on the hill, because in their demographic, they never actually faced that type of oppression that black people faced. So they'll never they don't understand where we're coming from when we say America was never great. Now that I do point that out to them, you see what I'm saying? That could actually put something into their mind to understand. Now I get it. Don't try to change people who are never going to change. I don't care about avid white supremacists. They could all, rope for all I care. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, talking to everyday vanilla regular people, yeah, the people who took the Make America Great Again and thinking that, Trump is just this great guy who wants to make things good again for everybody. I'm showing with America was never great that it was never good for everybody. You see what I'm saying? So that's number one. But the second thing that I want to say is that, yeah, I do agree to you to a point that we should concentrate on ourselves. But at the end of the day, we should have power for ourselves, right? But at the end of the day, yeah, the Indians and all the other stuff, they don't ask for anything from the white man, right? Here's the difference. The difference is that they were actually never put in a position where they have to ask, because Indians never face redlining. Chinese people will never face slavery in this country. When it came to things like the war on drugs, Nixon aides admitted that the war on drugs was to target black people. That was their target. They didn't say target Chinese. They didn't say target the Indians. The goal of the war on drugs is to target black people. That's the goal. You see what I'm saying? We're the ones who have a specific thing on our back. So yeah, the other ethnicities may not have to ask for handouts, but the reason why black people need to ask for certain specific policies, because a lot of things in this country, or most systems in this country, specifically target us. So we have to push back against it. I hope all that makes sense, and I do know Valerie and Evolving want to reply. Whichever one you guys want to go first.
If I could just say one of the things, like you mentioned, so I'm like him. I understand very clearly what somebody means when they say "Make America Great Again." Trump actually said, when asked, he said like back to 1861. So I'm very clear, right, on what he meant, and I understand that he's not talking to us. However, the history of where we were at 1861 takes us back a whole long way, back past redlining, back past Jim Crow. Black people were still enslaved in this country in 1861. So one of the things that I like to share with people, and many people do not know this, like you mentioned, we just need to do like the Arabs and the this person and the that person, rather than focus on this and that. What many people don't know is that the Arabs sued in America to be classified as white. Latin Americans sued in America to be classified as white. Southeast Asians and Indians sued in America to be white. So the way that many dealt with the racial disparities is that they sued to be a part of that white system. And when they did that, that meant that they could not be segregated in certain ways. But because they still wanted segregation, I'm saying white America wanted segregation, they gave those groups benefits as long as they stayed within the Black community, which is why you see Asian businesses and Arab businesses and all those kinds of things and Black businesses around America. It's because they were incentivized to do so. But many people do not know that Latin Americans, Mexicans, sued to get white status. Black Americans are the only people in the country who could never get white status. You get what I'm saying? So they sued to be white, to be treated as white, right? Black people are the ones in the country who could never sue for white status because one drop of Black blood made you Black. So rather than joining the white system, we're the ones who have had to fight the white system. And it has been our fight against the white system, the structure of racism, that has created legislation that has helped all of those other groups of color.
Can I respond to her real quick?
Yeah, and then it's gonna be evolving because I know evolving's been waiting for a while to respond to that, to respond as well.
Evolving, you the man. I'm just 30 seconds. So, but not all of those ethnic groups sued to be classified as white. And the problem that we have, guys, is we don't bind. The Bible says, gather yourselves together, O nation, not
About the
divided.
Bible in here.
No.
But
Wait,
sir, every group that I gave you sued to be white. That's why I said it.
Yes, every group that she named absolutely did.
no.
You're just eating into my speaking time, which is why I said I would really hope that you don't, because I knew you were going to say some more irrelevant shit. So please, host, by all means.
No, I got you. Okay, everybody pause for 1 second. Walk on by. Let's go ahead and give you just a minute 30. Matter of fact, let's give you a minute 30. That's fair to everybody. Give them a minute 30 to get everything out. All right, and then
Yeah,
evolving is gonna respond, and then K wants to respond as well because I know K wants to get in on it. All right, evolving, go ahead. I'm gonna give you a minute and a half. All right, go ahead for me, please.
And real quick, moderator, I just want to remain respectful because this is part of the problem, right? I haven't disrespected anybody, and I'm not a Christian. I just quoted a Bible verse that is in the fundamental of gathering yourself together to work together, because we are a people that we need to work together. All these you can file to be white and still not work hard. We see that they're outworking us, right? Excuse my passion because this gets me passionate. Because we have to shift aside. Yes, we're disadvantaged. When a Mexican walks across the border, they walk across the border with nothing but the shirt on their backs. And people that I work with and grew up with, their mothers and fathers were first generation Americans. And I see that their children are going to high school, going to middle school, getting there, and they're the first ones. Then they pull all their money together, they buy the houses in cash, right? It's not about a white status so much so. So I'm not saying maybe the Indian did file for white status, right? And maybe every single, but what I'm saying is that's shifting the focus. I know we've been disadvantaged. And what I'm saying is coming together
Are
to
disadvantaged.
bringing our resources together more than we have will get us a better seat at the table. And with that,
10 more seconds. Oh, my bad. Walk on by. I was just telling you there's 10 more seconds. All right, cool. Yeah, you're
yeah, no, I'm good, man. I just want to keep it respectful though, because there's a lot of underhanded comments. We can't get this will show you what the problem is when we even leave this live, that we can't even discussion without being disrespectful. Maybe you're part of the problem. Maybe you need to look in the mirror if you're sitting on this panel. So just let's be respectful. I'm not saying that with that, trying to disagree with everybody. I'm bringing a
I'm
solution.
pretty sure it's been a minute and 30 past that, though. That's being
no,
respectful
it's been
right
it's
there.
been
Respecting the
a nah,
host.
it's been a.
I'm out, man.
I got you,
Just-
Mom. Mike went out.
All right.
My turn. Y'all are muted. What?
We'll see you're not by the screen.
It's
back.
okay.
Oh,
I
you're
was
back.
next, but it's okay if you want to talk. I'll give you that. You're welcome.
You can go.
I'm going to go
ahead.
ahead and go. KK, do you mind if I go? Because I know the host is having a little bit
You
of
were
trouble.
here before
but
me, so you can go.
So we're gonna do evolving and then the guy above evolving.
Hear me okay?
There we go. You guys can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
All right, I do apologize for that, yo. I
Yeah,
had,
we
I had
get
an
it, Kay.
issue.
You okay?
Yeah, go ahead, evolving. Is evolving's turn? Go ahead, evolving.
Yes. First, I wanted to say that it's super hard to not, when we say operate respectfully and keep it respect, it's like some of the stuff that people be saying, especially on TikTok lives, be disrespectful inherently, and they want civility when they say that was disrespectful shit. In this particular case, it's the fact that without looking at like ancient history or even the 60s, you can just look at the 80s. The host eloquently articulated that the simple fact, when we were out there up against the wall getting searched for substances and stuff like that, there wasn't nobody else there. There was a few shady looking white dudes, but the Asian community wasn't up against them walls. The Indian community
What?
wasn't getting pulled over by large. So this idea that
What?
like I would ask,
The Asians went through internment camp.
hold on, homeboy.
Hold on. Eugenio, do not interrupt. Let him go.
Like, why would you even do that?
You in the comments acting up.
Okay, Kay, we get it.
Right, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. People
Yeah,
want respect. Like, I'm supposed to respect this dude now when he clearly knew that I'm like, I just started fucking talking. Everybody, this other motherfucking monologue for like 45 minutes, and I start talking for 10 seconds. And this motherfucker, like, bro, I will eat you, dog. Like, I do
Dude,
this.
then go.
Like, don't
Then
play with
go.
me. That's why I got. That's
Don't
why I
waste
got my
your
fucking
time.
camera on, bro. I got my
All right.
camera on because I
All right,
stand. I stand
pause.
10 toes on this shit.
Eugenio, I got you. Evolving, I got you. Pause for me real quick. I do apologize, Evolving. Eugenio, please stay on mute, all right? Do not interrupt anybody else again. Don't interrupt my mods either. Kay is a mod, and she will kick you. So
She loves talking.
don't be quiet, Eugenio. Quote, yeah, she don't play. So please mute up. Let Evolving go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let Evolving get all his time back because now we forgot what he
I would agree
said
with that.
because of all
Go
this.
for it.
All right, so I'm gonna give Eugenio back his 2 minutes because now we all forgot what he said. All right.
It's your turn. I want to let you know if you come off that.
Hey, Kay, go evolving.
KK, you're muffled for some reason. I don't know why, but it's been muffled.
Yeah, you're a
for
little
second. I just
muffled,
want you to
KK.
know that.
Okay.
This is what I want to say. Yes, we can hear you. It's better now.
That's better.
As I
All
was
right.
saying, I'm like, I want you to know if you come off that
Keep talking. I
mute,
thought this was evolving's 2 minutes.
Hey, Eugenio, I'm not gonna warn you again.
Eugenio.
Mute up.
do
Well,
not
she
get,
loved
do
talking
not get
too.
kicked off for interrupting a mod.
Yeah,
Don't
mute up, please. All right.
Simple
I
fact
would've let-
is,
I wrote,
it
no,
is.
because I see how he's been
Okay.
acting in the
You know,
comments.
kick me. Good God. If she's
All
still
right,
going to
Eugenio,
talk.
be quiet.
Yeah, bye bye. I'm like, I know how you MAGA dudes like to do. I'm a part of 92%. We don't play that shit up in here. Bye bye.
Yeah, I know, it's
I
enough of
told
that.
you I don't play those games. Now let me see you in that
And I don't mind it.
in a comment,
KK,
and
I
mute
do
your
not
ass
mind
for
it.
the entire live.
He trying to use
Bitch.
your modding abilities and the frustration you have with his, his his behavior as a way to like shield behind me. And I no have your mod, be a mod, do that, get the trash out. That's how I'm all about not wasting time. So back to what I was saying, it is super disingenuous. I don't care what color a person is to articulate the black community without as so-called being disadvantaged without articulating that disadvantage is intentional and it's very specific. The 80s was a very specific time. If slavery could have been something that we forget about, and if segregation and redlining and all this other stuff could have been something that we forgot about, the 80s is super recent. I was born in 1983. I was put up against walls, suspected of having substances, which I didn't. The fact of the matter is that the other communities that people name that are doing so star-spangled great, who are really just submitting and assimilating, that spectrum of how great they're doing is just assimilation into whiteness and into capitalism and into colonialism. So that measurement isn't even shit. It's saying that they're doing really great at submitting. Oh, great! You're doing really great at submitting to somebody else's entire way of life. Great, cool. But it's super disingenuous for people to do that, and it's irritating. So don't ask for civility when you offer offense, because it's offensive and it's super. It's weird because it's like, how do you, especially if you're a melanated person, how do you not recognize that there were specific actions? I would ask Walk On to name in Indian communities and Asian communities that were incinerated. Name me a couple that were incinerated, not put in internment camps and got to go back to their communities, which were left intact when they left. Name the Indian and the Asian communities whose whole communities were incinerated for proximity to trying to do better and trying to do for themselves. Incinerated or flooded out. So I don't want to hear no like just that's a disingenuous argument. That's number one. But to answer what I really came here for, which is a panel, America was never great from a scientific perspective because it never had sustainability as one of the pillars. It never had sustainability, it never had equity, and it never had consent as its founding pillars. If your so-called civilization or society does not have sustainability, which is the metric, it is the scientific objective measurement for how successful or great your civilization is how sustainable it is, and furthermore, by extension, how abundant it is. That sustainability is still just a basic metric. What you're reaching for is abundance, like they had in indigenous cultures. So America was never great because it's never been sustainable, and more than that, it's never even had a platform for sustainability. It's always been predative and exploitative on the environment. That's number one. Being woke only in YT supremacy and its competitive, delusional, cognitive dissonance mind can you just take a word which clearly has a practical meaning, a grammatical meaning, and a cultural meaning to a people, and then just say nuh-uh and change it to it's people with blue hair who are offended by the fact that I'm Christian and I don't want them to get an abortion. That's what woke is. To pervert that, to take Black Lives Matter and pervert it into a political issue, to take all lives matter and turn it into a political issue. Woke just means not fucking sleep. It's very simple. And this perversion of that comes from the acquiescence and assimilation into whiteness and into YT supremacy. Reparations for Black people. Again, this is a scientific and even legislative issue because they already supposedly articulated promises for reparations and have already given reparations out to everybody else. This argument is moot at this point from any other perspective. The idea is who's going to pay for it, and that's still, when you look at the military budget and all this other crap that these people pay for, they're actually paying for people like Donald Trump and JD Vance and stuff to run, Kyle Rittenhouse to get off for unaliving people. They got budget for all kinds of pro-YT supremacy shit, but they don't have a budget for anything anti-YT supremacy. Why should I believe in a God? You really shouldn't, because it gives you like an scapegoat. I personally don't believe in a God, but I also am not an atheist. Faith is unreliable for truth, absolutely. But the problem with and I'm gonna stop right here. The problem with the United States is its principal pillar is that there is no such thing as truth. It's all opinions. It's all subjective. That's why racism isn't bad. It's just your opinion. Or slavery wasn't bad. We just learned better. It's the idea that there is no such thing as truth. So they don't truth doesn't matter to supremacists, because in order to be a supremacist, you have to ignore truth.
Did you land? Because you was cooking. Keep going, bro. Did you land it?
Okay, no, I'll land at the end then. Holy books are not evidence. I'm going to give you my end game because I like the apophatic method, which means affirmation through negation, to find out what something is by what it's not. And what I've learned is that society, the concept of America itself, is of the average American's God. Not money, but the actual concept. America is more of a religion than it is a nation.
Yeah, that Pax Americana is very, very culty, and it's like the way people worship American lore. Essentially, that's what I'm gonna call them. It's called American lore. Is extremely religious. Yeah, I mean, especially the way that they deify the founding fathers. It's very, very religious.
Legislation is religious doctrine. The police are the ushers. The politicians are the deacons. The politicians are the deacons. The DMV is one of their churches. The IRS building is one of their churches. The state legislation building is one of their churches. Their flag is their fucking cross. That's why they're willing to unalive on it. And all too prideful to tell you about it.
All facts, yo. I'll drop you a follow, bro. I might even make you a mod because, bro.
I engage in
Appreciate it, because I actually have a lot of solutions-focused activism that I do. I do mutual aid. I engage in mutual aid to bring light to people who are in need, to organizations who are in need, to causes that are in need. My entire platform is dedicated to uplifting others who are doing the work in their various sectors, whether they be mental health, environmentalism, social equity, etc. But I do this. So people like yourself platforming me is a great gift, because my platform itself is completely suppressed. I might get 3 or 4 people in a live in an entire day and be live all day, but I go in like a Mr. Jones live and I come out with 40, 50, 60 follows. And that helps to get other people's message out, not necessarily just mine. So I appreciate you so much for having me up anyway.
No, not a problem. I also engage in groups that do that as well. I'm part of Black Men Build down here in Florida, and we're definitely about engaging in that. And what actually really gravitated me towards them is because one of their pillars is anti-patriarchy. This is a Black Men building, so I was like, "Yo, I love this." And when I talk to them,
See that every day.
you don't see that every day. Because their whole aesthetic is like dudes from the hood, from the projects, and they really are. They do from the hood, from the projects. And when I talked to them about it, they was like, "Yeah, bro, if you really think about it, man, white supremacy is this. I mean, patriarchy is just like a white supremacy thing anyway, because we was never considered men under white supremacy. So like patriarchies all came from that." And I was like, "Bruh, y'all up on that?" I was like, yeah, I had to read some bell hooks.
Bro, it has been.
White supremacy, like patriarchy, is just the gender version of white supremacy.
This is how I've been doing this for I've been doing it for 32 years. I'm 41 years old. And in that time, I've only recently learned what this really is. What we're dealing with is the same problem any developing species that has ever happened or will ever happen will go through when they encounter scarcity. There's a hierarchy to supremacy, and it goes human supremacy, which gives way to gender supremacy, male patriarchal in our case, which gives way to tribal, ethnic, and national supremacy, which is YT in our case, and which gives way to interpersonal supremacy, which is DV, SA, assault, etc. So, which is also only through addressing my human supremacy. I understand YT supremacy. I've understood it since I was about 13 years old. Now that I'm addressing and seeing my human supremacy, thinking that like man shall have dominion over the earth, the predation of the environment, exploitation as a fundamental way of life. Now, like, when you see human supremacy, you start to see how all of the other ones exist and the excuses that are made to justify each. Because if you're not a human supremacist, by definition, you cannot be a male patriarchal supremacist because males are human. If you're not a human supremacist, you can't be a gender-based supremacist because genders are human. If you're not a human supremacist, you can't be, or your proximity to interpersonal supremacy, like bullying, etc., or just being a harmful person with your worldview is dramatically reduced. So my advice and my request to people is to start identifying supremacy as first through that filter of hierarchy. So because it's easier to understand. If a black man can't understand patriarchy when you're explaining it to him, half the time a few good racial examples will help them see how what they just said is really harmful to community. If they're not a black man and they're,
when you put it to them that way, they won't care.
that's because they are they are eternally, because the penalty or the cost, let me say the cost for proximity to YT-ness is your whole ass soul, bro. The whole thing, your reasoning and your soul.
Can I engage Evolving for 1 second?
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry, we went off.
Peter Jackson in a comment mostly wants to know more about Black Men Build.
Oh, Black Men Build. Yeah, it's Black Men Build is an organization in Florida. It also exists in Georgia, New York, St. Louis, and I think there's one in California and another one that's being built in Texas. It's all about black men and engaging in our community and improving the things that we can improve in our community, and also uplifting black men just as being human. And the first steps in order to do that is to deal with concepts of white supremacy, capitalism, patriarchy, and gender essentialism, because all of those decrease your value as a human. It puts you into a box. You see what I'm saying? So just like how Evolving was explaining. So Black Men Build deals with all of that. We also help out. We go out to volunteer with children. Recently down in Miami, there was we had we went to basically like start after school programs, a chess club, and even a boxing program. And I do know we have other people up here. We kind of went off track because Evolving started cooking, but I know Evolving and Walking By wanted to do a yeah. I know Walk On By
By
wanted
the
to do
way,
like a walk.
Jonesy, I'm sorry, sis. No, I don't have another mic because this is the only because I'm on my tablet, my new tablet. But I just got a new tablet when I went to go pay my phone bill at the Metro. I got it for a good deal.
Awesome.
Period.
I need to
But
get me
and
a tablet too.
but because this I basically disconnected from TikTok after the initial ban. I cannot get on TikTok on my phone. So, girly, you gonna have to work with me, sis.
Yeah, we have to work with it. Okay. Walk On By, I got you. Phoenix, are you over 18?
52, sir.
52. Okay. Do you disagree with anything I have on the board? Because you said you had a question.
Well, it says democratic socialism is better than capitalism. And someone just said earlier that capitalism is an example of white supremacy, I believe they said. Is that a correct statement?
Yeah, it's one of the things that is a capitalism is a tool of white supremacy. Is it white supremacist like inherently? I think there are people who can give better analysis on that. I'm not sure. I don't think it is internally.
I wouldn't say it's white supremacist inherently. I think it's a tool.
Right. Agreed.
I'm like it's another form of hierarchy. I would say. It's
Right.
not
Exactly.
necessarily white supremacist inherently, but I think it can intersect with white supremacy, which is why it was mentioned.
Right. In our society right now, our society is very white supremacist. So like capitalism is used to further that. That makes sense, Phoenix?
I see the point. I don't necessarily agree with it totally, but I can see how things would tend to lean that way.
Gotcha. Okay. Paul, just pause me for real quick. I don't want to get sidetracked. Walk On By did have one thing that he wanted to talk to Evolving about. I will get back to you. All right, Phoenix? I appreciate you.
By the way, before can y'all hear me clearly before he goes?
I can hear
Y'all
you.
hear me more clearly.
I hear you.
Barely for me, it's not barely bad, but it's like it's a 7, or excuse me, like a 6, where the host or somebody like myself maybe sounds like an 8 or a 9.
Okay, what about now?
That was actually a little better. Oh, whoa. That's bad. That's bad. That one's bad.
Let me put it right here again.
There we go. That's
It
better.
is.
There it is.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right. Walk On By. Go ahead.
What is it?
Walk On By. You still there?
Is my brother Evolving still there?
Yeah. He's still there,
Listening.
but yeah. But go ahead. I don't know if you remember everything that he said, but go ahead.
I can't. I'm not responding to everything, but I just want to. I don't think anybody should disagree with being respectful. And here's what I mean: is the problem with us because we're both black. The problem is the reason why we're not taken seriously is because we have no self-control. Because the
That is not
thoughts
why. Walk
the
on by.
No. Let him finish. Let's be fair. Let him finish. Go ahead. Walk On By.
Okay, these are all true statements, right? Because you can't sit at the table if you can't control your emotions, and you can't hear a difference in opinion and be able to articulate a response, even though you may not agree. Articulate a response that'll be respectful, and that's how you build. You find common ground and build. And what I'm saying is the pettiness that we constantly do, even at this level, we'll never get anywhere if we can't say, because I didn't disagree with everything that he said. I found a lot of the things that he said agreeable, but if we can't start with respect, even though it may not be agreeable, then we have an issue there. Now, the next thing, did you want to respond to that, Evolving?
I do. My whole thing, as I articulated the first time, is that when somebody says something that is harmful, not just disrespectful. Harmful is disrespectful by its very nature. But when somebody says something harmful, like when they express that a bunch of other communities have done and achieved X, Y, Z, it's insulting because it'd be like me we're neighbors and I'm like, look at the Olsons over there. They've done X, Y, Z. And look at the Millers over there. They've done X, Y, Z. And I'm burning your house down every single day. And I'm like, why haven't you done anything? like that's insulting and wild and offensive. And so I will never meet offense with grace. I will never meet offense with civility. I've done this for too long, and I know that civility won't change it. Like Kay said, too many times, 9 times out of 10, it will not change their perspective. And I'm somebody who's been accosted by people because no one's ever agreed with me, because I've been saying this shit for decades. And so I either became callous to it, or I just grew up. I don't know what, like, that's part of YT supremacy too, is that everything's got to be given to people. Civility is for the civil, but if you come, incorrectly, you will get an incorrect response. Like, and I'm not saying that we can't meet in the middle like we're trying to do now, but like, if you slap me, you're gonna get slapped back, and it's gonna be equal or harder. It ain't gonna be lighter. I'm not gonna try to cater to you.
That's
Can I add one thing? I'm sorry, y'all. Can I add one thing? I'm sorry, Walken. Can I add one thing? Here's what I wanted to add, Walk On By. Like, because I understand where you're both coming from, because like Evolving, I've been speaking about these subjects for at least since 2013, and I've lost sleep over it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But like, I understand where Evolving is coming from, because I am tired of explaining the same thing over and over. The only reason why I'm kind of nicer than Evolving is because I realize that there are so many people who truly don't understand it. So I'm gonna explain it to you nicely the first time. But just like how the last guy that was on here who did the whole 1350, after a while, I'm not going to be nice to you no more. You see what I'm saying? After a while, I'm not going to be nice to you no more, because it's willful ignorance at a point. If I see someone's being willfully ignorant, I'm not going to be nice to them anymore. But if someone actually wants to learn, all right, cool. We can have a discussion. And I'm pretty sure Evolving you would even agree with that. But there are most people out there that we're just tired, bro.
If I can go. So what?
Tired. And I agree, because what you're saying, look, I don't disagree. Right now, we're not in disagreement.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Can I just add one more thing? Please. Erica, I do see you in the comments. Erica, please request up, because I can't send you a request for some reason, but you have enough followers. Request up. It seems that you would disagree with Evolving, myself, and Kay, so request up, and then we'll have more of a discussion. And DP, I do got you. I see you up there, DP to God. I got you. All right.
I agree.
Yeah, I can't invite her up for some reason. Go ahead,
I agree
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. It's your platform. I agree that approach, like I approach this from I used to play baseball, so I approach it as baseball, 3 strikes. The first time I'm like, XYZ truth, homie, and it's like, depending on the type of pushback I get, because there is equitable pushback where I'll stay at 1, but when somebody comes back, and you didn't do that, which is why I'm not escalating it, because usually if somebody escalates, I'll just escalate. I'm like, I'm with it. So I agree with you, though. It's how we present. That's why I started my website, so that I don't even have to present the information. I can let the information be presented for itself. But I cannot do that in the moment when I encounter harm. And it is my ethical and moral responsibility to refuse and refute false narratives which cause harm, and or to put that harm down by any means necessary, as they say.
The risk you're running is not actually, if there's not. See, my thought is that there's more of a callousness built, having actually more tolerance, in the sense that you know that you're not going to reach everybody. And I think what happens is that we're after those that actually need to learn. Everybody ain't going to learn. There's a lot of ignorant people. The caller that when I first came out, he was pretty ignorant, and he got it cut and a couple other things. But for what I'm saying cannot be debunked for there to be some disrespect. What I'm saying is, with the Mexicans, I'm 44 years old. Most of my life, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, but most of my life spent in New York. I, in my generation, have watched the Mexicans move in on our dead-end private street and literally go from 0 to 70% of the street, 75% of ownership on the street. How did they do that? I watched them in my time, and I watched what they did. We know the parents, we know the children, went to school with the children. Undocumented, a lot of disadvantages. We have, guys, more advantages than a lot of these folks coming all over with a shirt on their back. I don't think
I'll be talking about with the doubling down of the harm and me taking it to step 2. Like, I don't understand what I have stuttered about. And the whole thing is, I agree that there has to be decorum, but the literal fact that somebody will sit there and hear you say everything I just said and then say the literal exact same shit they just said is proof that motherfuckers just ain't serious.
Are you Black American?
what? I'm a black dude. Yeah, I'm black.
No. That's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking your race. I'm
where your
asking,
grandparents from,
are you
basically.
Black American? Are you foundationally Black American?
Yes.
Are your does your are your is your Black family descendant of chattel slavery on this land? Are you foundationally Black American?
I think he said yes. Did you say yes?
Okay.
Walking by.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Here's
Listen to
what I
me.
wanna. Can I just
St.
point out some?
Louis.
I got
I
you.
grew
Okay.
up in St. Louis, Missouri.
Right.
Okay, go
I got you. Walking by. Let me just say this right. Like the angle that you're coming from, right? Don't think I don't understand. I get the
He's
angle that
not
you're coming
right.
from. Right. Like no, I get the angle he's coming
Walk
from
on
though.
by
Like
is not right.
Right. I don't think he's right, but I see the angle he's coming from. He's coming from, Black folks. We need to unify. We have a lack of unity, et cetera, et cetera. So I see that angle, right? But the thing is that I want to say is that number one, even everybody agrees that Black people should unify more, especially in this country, et cetera, et cetera. We need more unification. I got you, right? We understand that. I think what you're missing, walk on by, is that the social advantages, the social disadvantages that Black people have in this country are built into the structure. You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, these Hispanics come in, and these Hispanics come in, and then they own homes, et cetera, et cetera. The thing is that even when you look at the structures of like the mortgage and the banking system, a Black person that has the same income, the same job, the same credit, even the same debt ratio as a white person or a Latino person is not only less likely to get a mortgage loan, but even when they do get it, they get higher interest rates for no reason other than their skin color. This has been researched before, you feel what I'm saying? So the disadvantages for us are baked into the structure, and it's not baked in the structure for people like Latinos or Asians. You see what I'm saying? I do agree with you that we need to unify.
Latinos. I will give some
So let me. Okay.
grace to like Black presenting Latinos.
Hey, KK, your mic is really low. I thought you said you thought you were saying that you had a new tablet. Mic.
It's because I interrupted her. My bad, Kay. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me now?
That's good for me.
No, I want to make sure it's good for everybody though, because apparently,
It's a 4.
Okay.
It's
What
still
about now?
low, but we can hear you.
Okay.
And
Listen,
you were asking me if I was Black because of what now? Go ahead. I'm here.
no, I'm like, no. I wanted to ask you if you were Black. You said your race earlier, so I knew you were racially Black. I was asking your ethnicity because I'm like, and Volsi, this is no shade, okay? So please
I
do
got you.
not take it, okay?
No, I
Volsi,
understand it.
okay? But what I find is a lot of not only POCs, but Black people who come to this country who do not understand the historical context, specifically of Black. I'm like, it sounded like, well, I've heard non-Black Americans say, like, African Americans are lazy. They don't work hard enough. Pick yourself out of bootstrap energy, and it was really rubbing me the wrong way.
That's what I hear.
We're foundationally Black Americans.
Yeah, I'm a Negro of Negroes, and what I'm saying is that most of my friends are Jamaican. I have some African friends, Haitians, and they are doing very well. You go down to White Plains Road in the Bronx. A lot of business ownerships from Jamaicans. They didn't classify as white. Africans are not classifying as white.
But
You're
that's
I
besides
just want
the point.
No, that's not.
Those
But this is my point.
advantages.
I'm just making my point.
I'm not about to
Those
let you
advantages
just
came later and have been worked for
those
by the
advantages
Black people of
came from the
America.
backs of African Americans, though, and you're just dismissing that history, though.
No, we're talking about the opportunities of the American.
That were built by African
This
Americans.
motherfucker is
They wouldn't
playing
even
y'all
be
for
here
food.
if
He's
it weren't for
playing
the
in y'all
civil
face.
rights
I love you, but I'm
movement,
gonna drop for now
civil
because
rights
I can't.
movement
Because
in
he's pissing me the
1960.
fuck off.
We don't
Love
need
you,
to.
host. Love you, KK.
I appreciate you evolving for being up.
We
Do
don't need to
appreciate
do
you.
a conversation. And see, this is what I was saying, man. We don't have the wherewithal just to have a conversation. I have to exactly agree with you.
We're having the conversation.
No, I'm
Be
talking about
respectful.
evolving, and some of the people like evolving. That's what I'm talking about. We cannot be productive with this attitude. So I'm being semi-attacked.
But you're not being civil because he even mentioned like you are being hella disrespectful,
How?
specifically to other Black Americans. Like
For
it is
having a
actually wild to me.
All right, walk
that
on
you
by.
are
Like,
sitting-
Host. Am I
I'm sorry,
being,
Kate. Yeah, yeah.
being
I'm walking by. Like, no, I look, because I get where you're coming from, right? Because I'm Haitian, right? Because I'm Haitian. Here's the thing, right? Because
no,
I'm Haitian,
before you
right?
go,
There's
before you go, can you just ask me, am I being disrespectful, host? All due respect, because I found
As
you
a
to
Black
be
American, I find it disrespectful and completely.
host. Am I being disrespectful?
no the actually, yeah. You are being, because it seems that you're not really under on like taking into consideration exactly what we're trying to say. You feel me? Because yeah, we when you say that all these other ethnic groups made it, why can't you make it? This is what white supremacists usually tell black people. You feel what I'm saying? So you're I don't here's what I will say.
Feel like I'm talking
Oh,
to a
my
white
wife
Right.
is over here saying that that's not what I said, and
Right.
she's
No, I got you.
you
It
guys
does.
aren't hearing me.
No, hold on. I'm walking by. I understand that that's not your intent to be. It's not your intent to be. That's what I'm saying.
But
It's
the
not your intent to be.
impact is
But
that.
the impact is that, exactly. It's not your
No,
intent to be, but the impact
so
is
that
that.
so,
And
then- so
that's the
then
thing. Impact over intent. Your intention does not matter.
no,
Like you,
well,
I'm like
listen,
you are. I'm like evolving left, not because he could not have a conversation, but
no, he
because
couldn't have a conversation. He was
he was having a conversation. So that's not
no, he wanted to just be. He just wanted to
walk on
talk.
by. He did not leave because he couldn't have a conversation.
No,
He left because of the disrespect
well then I don't
and the harm
listen.
of what you were
That's what,
saying
guys.
was causing.
That's what, guys.
That's why he left.
We are very emotionally fragile. If you start taking what I'm saying as disrespectful,
I'm like, walk on by. You cannot just say that. Like,
well, then you
would
say
you
a lot of
say
stuff.
it's extremely
Wait,
disrespectful
if
and
you're saying,
harmful?
wait, I can't defend myself. If you're saying I'm being disrespectful, I can defend myself. So this is the continued problem we're having.
Why can't
I
you
am
just
not
take
saying,
the
wait. Can
critique
I
though
respond?
and
Can I
move
respond?
on?
I am not disagreeing with you guys. I started out because everybody's forgetting how I started out. I'm saying that, hey, we understand these things. How do we fix it? We have to fix it
But
by
you don't fix it by
All
blaming
right. Can you
black
guys
people though.
can
Like
you
that's
guys can you guys pause real quick? Can you guys pause real quick?
black people. That's
I
not
got
what
you. Walk. Let me, pause real quick. Okay. Erica, like I said before, please request up so we can have a more of a discussion. Phoenix has one last thing to say, and I haven't let DP go yet at all. So, Phoenix, what was the last thing that you wanted to say? I do apologize. We'll circle back to you.
I'll be honest. A lot of this I don't understand. I'm a white guy, and I need to be better educated. I get that. My wife needs me, but what I did want to say is, as a recommendation for a tablet, the Samsung 10 is phenomenal, and it's worked well for me.
Oh, great. Awesome. Awesome.
I guess that was shade towards my mic. I get it. I've had a couple of
No, that was just he said he was going to get a tablet and wanted to look into it, so I would give him a recommendation. No shade to our viewers.
Yes, thank you.
All right, y'all have a good day.
You as well, Phoenix. I appreciate you. All right. So walk on by. You said that you understand what we're trying to say, right? Like, because what I'm saying is that the way that these systems are built, there's disadvantages to black people, and not and specifically to black Americans, because me, like I speak a second language, right? And speaking a second language has actually helped me out a lot. You feel what I'm saying? But guess what? I grew up in Florida, so a lot of the jobs down here, what do they require? They require Spanish, even though half the black people here are Haitian. You see what I'm saying? None of the jobs require Creole, but they all require Spanish. What do you think? Why do you think that is? You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
Which would mean possibly Afro-Latinos would possibly have a leg up in Florida.
yeah, Afro Latinos will have a leg up in Florida, but like it's crazy to me because like even they, like a lot of them don't even. A lot of people, a lot of their Cuban counterparts don't even consider them Cuban, which is crazy, right? But like what I was gonna say,
Like,
walk on by is
talking
that,
about Afro-Cubans versus like white Cubans.
yeah, there's a little thing between there too. You know what I mean? And I was surprised when I found that out. But
Really? That's interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah, real interesting. But yeah, walking by, but you understand what I mean, right? Like these issues are baked into the system, and I do understand what you mean. There has to be a strategy of us to take advantage of the things that we can't take advantage of. Is that what you're trying to say?
All right, I'm a respond. So yes, moderator, I'm saying that there's a lot of advantages that we have here in America that I don't feel like we are taking full advantage of, and that we are lessening our requirements for.
Gotcha.
So
Okay, what do you think are some of the things that we should be taking advantage of that we're currently not?
right into that. We are not taking advantage. We are consumers. We have become the leading consumer here in America. That is a statistical fact. Is that not?
It is. We are a leading consumer. When you say leading consumer, it depends on what you're talking about, though. Leading
Well,
consumer
you
in
know what
what?
I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like our spending on non-essentials. We are at the stores and buying all the sneakers and stuff. And I'm not trying
Oh,
to be
okay.
like I'm not trying to be like black. I'm the Negro. I'm more Negro than anybody on this panel. So I got a bunch of Negro kids and my whole family from St. Louis, the fourth crime state in the country. So
Right.
I don't need to hear nothing from nobody. And so
Right.
what I'm trying to, so I understand this. My brother's been to jail all of his life, raised by the single mom. I watched my mom raise three boys. I'm a twin, and work her ass off. That's what I watched. She was one of the first in the family to own a home. And then my brother I didn't go to college. I went to college, but didn't fully graduate with a bachelor. I got an associate's. My brother went to college. He paved the way for us. It wasn't.
Okay. Walk. I'm sorry. I gotta
Many
walk.
black
I gotta pause you
people
real quick.
have done that for their children. Like, do you
Yeah.
think that's
I'm about to make my
Like,
point. If y'all can I'm gonna make my point.
I got
I
you.
know.
I got you. Just remember this rule here. I know you weren't trying to, but you kind of did. Remember that rule there. The second one. Don't monologue. So try not to monologue. Okay. I know you forgot that second rule, but I do get where you're coming from. Welcome by. I get it. But like it goes back to my question. Like there are advantages in America that you feel that black people should be taking advantage of. What are some of those? Because in my opinion, I would say that there should be more black people going into the trades. And I think our schools in our areas, we should be pushing for that as legislation, that the schools in black areas should all have trade schools in them. So when the students graduate, you graduate as a certified electrician, you graduate as a certified plumber, you graduate with a CDL, as a CNA, as an LPN, et cetera, et cetera. I think we should push legislation for those things within black schools, especially in the red line areas, because they never got those advantages. So I think more black people should go into the trades. I think black people, we should go
that
into
would
logistics.
also go into the reparations for black
Yes,
Americans.
yes. I agree. I think more. I think if we can't, or before reparations get passed, we should push for reparations. In the meantime, more black people should go into logistics. You know what I mean? Like not just getting your CDLs, but like becoming owner operators, starting like delivery companies, because we don't all have to drive the truck, but we can all work in the office for driving the companies, getting the contracts, et cetera, et cetera. We should get into logistics more often because it's lucrative. That's one thing I think we as black people can do. What do you think? Walk on by.
So I see we can agree. I totally agree with that. And those are systematic structural changes that those are things that we can do. But what I'm saying is, because you asked me, right, what are the things that we can do? Some of the things that we can do is stop complaining. We can if I walk into a store
See, this is
to
where we
be
can cuss.
hold on, God, man. Listen to what I'm saying, because I'm more black I'm just as black as everybody on this panel. Can't tell me nothing about being black. So this is my
I'm like,
experience.
it's not even about that. It's
All right,
about
let me say what I'm saying. I know
Let's give him the minute 30. Go. I'm gonna give you the minute 30. Whiskey.
disagree with if you're disagreeing with what I'm saying, then I feel like you're on the panel just to be talking. Because what I'm finding is when I'm going into the Popeyes, when I'm going into certain stores, I'm finding that we could be better in our attitude. We can clean up the store and steward the store better. I would wish that we would do things better. That when I go to the Spanish side of town to their Popeyes, why are they doing it better than we are? You know how that pains me to see that. It pains me to pull around and you're saying when it's 45 minutes before you close, you ain't going to tell me you're not going to fry any more fried chicken because you want to get out of work early. These are my experiences. What I'm saying is that those are the areas that we can fix to show better stewardship over the jobs that we do have. Why do we get attitude? And I'm not going to monologue. Why are we doing these things when we are working? Why do we complain about being late? So I've been a manager for 20 years. I know this firsthand. My wife has been a manager for 16 years. She knows it firsthand. And last thing, my parents owned a daycare. She knows the difference between the black parents and slash other parents. I'm not talking about. I'm only focused on our. I'm not saying that the other people don't do bad. I'm only focused on our responsibility and how we can do better, and that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, gotcha.
While ignoring all the systematic issues that affect.
I'm not ignoring the. See, this is crazy.
But you are though.
Okay. All right. Well, hold on. Pause real quick. Pause real quick. I want to respond, and I want DP to go ahead because he's been so patient and hasn't hasn't responded at all. I do apologize, DP. I'm gonna get you up right now. Okay. All right. So walk on by. Like here's the thing. Like when you talk about the attitudes in the business. Like I see the angle you're coming from because it's literally a joke with us. You know what I mean? Especially if you're going to a Jamaican or a Haitian restaurant, what do we all say? If the people are rude, the food gonna be busting. You know what I'm saying? Like we all say it's a joke between us, right? We all say that. So even if it's a joke, it does underscore like an actual serious issue of how come when we go into a Jamaican or soul food or a Haitian restaurant that the people are rude. You know what I'm saying? Why is that a thing? You feel me? So I get the angle that you're coming from. But as Kay said, there are systemic issues. And if we get into, why do black people sort of have this sort of attitude, I'm not sure who said it. I think it was James Baldwin, is what to say to be American and to be black is to be in a constant state of rage at all the time. You see what I'm saying? I butchered that quote. I know people are gonna be mad at me for butchering. Right. So it's like, do you think that has anything to do with it? Because like black people, especially African Americans, have every right to be very angry in this country.
Yeah, but
Hold on, so
we can't.
In the comments, actually ask the question. I'm gonna ask you one question. Is your wife a black woman?
I just wanted to respond to the moderator, if you don't mind. I don't think living in rage. So rage is justifiable, but living in that constantly puts you in a victim mindset. I can't. So somebody.
I'm like, no. I'm like, these are white supremacists talking.
What is she talking about? I'm trying not to disrespect. What you're constantly disrespecting me. I don't even. I know you're
disrespecting you
because I'm not.
First of all, you know what? I'm tired. Bye.
But damn. DP wanted to talk to him next.
Because I let it happen for as long as I.
Did I pause? Was that me? Did I pause? Okay, you there? Oh, she has low bars. Yeah, you had low bars. Nobody. DP, are you still there?
Now.
Yeah, that's good. DP, you still there? I don't think he's here yet. All right. So, all right, y'all. I know that was a long conversation. Sorry that you got dropped. What was his name again? Walk on by. You did get dropped. I don't control that. My moms drop people. So it's they don't got tired of you.
Exactly. Like, what is he talking about? Black women have literally the highest, fastest growing home degrees and the homeowners. Like, but he gonna sit here and act like Black Americans are not, especially Black American women, are not. When he just talked about the accomplishments of his mother. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
DP, I sent you a request to unmute yourself. Let me know if you get a DP. Let me send you a.
Oh yeah, man, you can definitely tell his wife is not black. You can tell.
Yeah. All right, DP. See if you can unmute yourself. All right. Walk on by. Let's go ahead and take a lap. Yeah, I mean, let's see if we can bring you back up in the next 15 minutes. I'm not sure why you're muted. DP, I'm gonna drop you. Come back up, okay?
Yeah, DP, because I didn't mute you, by the way. So
I didn't mute him. I don't know why he is. All right, DP, go ahead and come back up. All right, Erica, how you doing, Erica? You disagreed with. How you doing, Erica? Yeah, you were. I think you were disagreeing with a lot with what we were saying on the stage. Let's go ahead and put 15 minutes on the clock. Let's go ahead and talk about it. How you doing, Erica?
Hi. Thank you. Thank you for having me up. I'll make it simple because I just say I would come up and yeah, the main guy that was there earlier, I was listening while I was driving, that was yapping
Which
and
one?
using
There was a
all,
few here, sis.
I don't know his name, but he was using all the words and stuff and trying to sound extra. He had me a little triggered. So it kind of cooled down after that.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Huh?
I think I'm like
I
Volsic. I
think I know
think
who you're
he
talking
was
about.
on.
Yeah, I know who you're
Okay.
talking about.
Okay, so Walk On By really did so well. He was so much nicer. I think I want to keep it that way. I did a break for a week. I'm not gonna blow up I do disagree pretty much with everything on here, but it's like Walk On By was so nice and good, and I'll say I agree with him because yeah, I don't think it's gonna go, you know. I just agree with him on
Evolving
what he's
Seed.
saying.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
do disagree with what? I mean, you do agree with walk on by. All right, cool. Let's
yeah.
go ahead and do this because now it can be a fair panel. It could be me and everyone who agrees and disagrees. Let me check something first. DP, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right, cool, man. I appreciate your patience. I do apologize that I didn't get you until now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. Let me see if I can do a showtime. As a matter of fact, I might do a showtime when I get. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. All right. So first, while I'm figuring it out, Erica, you did agree with Walk On By. So we're gonna go ahead and have a quick discussion. You say you disagree with everything I have on the board. Is that right?
Holy books are not evil. Okay, I believe in the word of God, so that's true.
Well, I'm not saying that they're not evil. I'm sorry. You might not be able to see it. I'm saying that they're not evidence. That's what
Oh, I
I'm
thought,
saying.
okay, yeah, I was cut off. Okay.
I believe they're evil, but
Right. We'll definitely get into that. All right, Erica. So you can start anywhere that you want. America's
Yes,
never
okay.
great. Being woke is good. Anywhere that you want, we can start.
Okay, America, I do think is a great country. I think
based
it's
on
been
what?
a great country. I think that this is the country that created the most black millionaires that there's ever been. So that's pretty good. No country where the people look like us running it can produce that, have produced that, where you could start off from nothing and be able to do that. So that falls in line with my agreeing with capitalism because that has helped get a lot of us out of squander is doing that and working hard. Now, no system is perfect. You're not going to find it. And whenever these discussions come up again, nobody can find this magical unicorn country that treat black people so great and treat everybody so good. And black people are just so perfect. There's no country. And the closest is this one. The fairest is this one. And I know that may get people mad, but again,
Excuse me. Hold
you
on a
got to
minute.
name
But
something
does that
Hold
make
on.
it
Hold on.
great?
Hold on. Hold on.
where we're able to get the
All right.
resources that we
All
were
right.
able to get.
Pause. Everybody, pause. I'm gonna let DP go because he was kind enough to be patient, and I'm not gonna say anything for now. DP, go ahead. I know you want to respond to something because I definitely do. Go ahead
Oh, I
and
want to
respond.
respond to a whole lot, but what I want to know is when these people make, in my opinion, these asinine comments, can we stop and then debate them? See, because so much is said that we lose track. But I'm
No,
gonna
no, of
jump on
course.
here with Erica since she wouldn't be so nice. Did you basically just say there are no countries where black people are thriving who have started with nothing, and America is? Are
Whole
you? Is that
chest
what
out
you're saying?
with her whole
Because you
chest. That's
said
what she
that
just
with
said.
your
I
whole
confirmed
Yeah.
it.
chest.
I heard
And
it.
Go
again,
ahead and make your
this is
point,
the.
because
Let
yeah,
me
that's what I
finish,
said.
please. I
Yes.
listened to you, Erica. Is that what you said? Because this is the problem we had with Walk On By, and that's the problem I'm going to have with you. You are negating the Berlin Conference. Africa, the continent, were building the pyramids and doing mathematics. The Greeks studied at the feet of black men. What are you talking about? You guys are sitting up here reiterating white supremacist talking points, and that's what has us black people upset. In 1888, the white people came into Africa, renamed the people, formed these nation states, and spent the next 100 years destabilizing them, robbing them, looting them. Nobody knows how great those nations would be because they've had 100 years of oppression, colonization, and imperialism. And now they're using neocolonialism. And to sit there, Haiti got its freedom in 1812, and France has had its foot on its neck for 200 years. France takes $500 billion out of the Congo every year. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They're killing us and stealing our ancestors and our people blind, and you're saying they're not great because they're not allowed to be great. What are you talking about, ma'am? Are you serious? They are robbing Africa. Those people can't do for themselves, and you're wondering why they're turning to the Chinese? Because America is telling them, if you don't believe what we believe and think like we think, we're not going to give you money. The Chinese are like, we don't give a damn how you run your country. We just want to do business with you. What y'all need to really understand international politics, because you don't. But to sit here and say black people aren't doing good, they aren't running their nations, because they haven't been allowed to. The last African nation got its freedom, what, in 1990 something? What are you talking about? In colonialism, what are you talking about? Those people were kingdoms, rich, prosperous kingdoms, before the white people came in and looted everything from them. What are you talking about, man?
Just saved us time by saying you were just a YT supremacist who's brainwashed beyond belief. And you just saved us all that
I
time.
mean,
Anyway,
I don't
okay,
believe you
because he's asking me a
said
question.
that. I don't believe you just sit here and said that.
Sir.
No other.
That's
Basically,
really
black nations aren't doing good because black folks can't run them good. Well, you know why this fucking country is doing good? Excuse my language. You know why this
all
country
good, bro.
is doing good? 250 years of our free labor. Damn near everything. This phone that you getting on here sprouting that nonsense, thank a black man for. Thank a black man for that. The fact that y'all can get food from state to state in refrigerated trucks, thank a black, them damn eggs, because I know you voted for about them damn eggs. Thank a black man for that. So I need y'all to stop and walk on by. Bruh, you need to quit with your bullshit. I'm going to be right up there with you.
What did I say that you disagree with?
Popeyes, we have more black millionaires, more black billionaires, and more black businesses. What are you talking about?
Disagree?
Let me finish, bro. I'll let you speak for like a damn near hour.
You asked a question. What am I talking about? I was answering.
You're talking about black people not doing well. We're doing extremely well. Believe it or not. But two things can be true at the same time. There is a segment of our population that is doing extremely well. We have more black millionaires and billionaires than all the other ethnic groups combined. We have more black businesses. But when you sit here and say stuff like, oh, well, we could do better, that's basically that pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality. But my brother, you know what I never heard you mention? You never mentioned nothing about the Fearless Fund, how black women were helping other black women come up with simple $20,000 grants to get their business, and the white people took them from them.
I don't disagree.
I don't. That. And let me finish. That's an example of black people helping themselves. That's an example of black people coming together. And that's another example of when we do try to come up and move up, there's always insidious white people somewhere trying to look at how can I get in there and mess that up for them. That fund had nothing to do with nobody but helping black women start a business. And they took that and they shut that down. And that's not across the board. There's a lot of brothers standing on the corner sagging their pants, dealing drugs and doing all type of stupid shit. I get that. But we do pull ourselves up. And Mexicans and Asians ain't the only one that do that. We come together. I heard Shannon Sharp say, if you always got to be the bigger person, you probably hang around with too many small folk. I'm thinking, brother, wherever you at, them black folk you looking at, them is some small black folk. Because you cannot sit here and say the stuff you say and not see it. And I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Answer this question for me. Because you got a white wife, don't you? Bro, let's keep it real with each other.
All right.
Keep it real with each other.
Let me hold on, because
I didn't want to ask that. I honestly didn't want to ask that. I didn't want to ask that.
Okay, he didn't answer it, so I just want to keep it 100 with it. You got a white wife, don't you, bro?
I'm black.
Real talk.
I'm extremely black. So nobody
That's
knows
not,
what
that's not what I asked you.
what the.
I think that was his wife that came on the phone
My
and said that.
wife is in the
Hey,
back.
you ain't got nothing to prove to these people who sound like they sodomizing. So who
No,
cares if you dating somebody?
Sodomizing.
If you book,
Sodomizing.
yeah,
Like,
listen,
yeah,
Handle
sodomized. Oh,
yourself.
yeah,
Get
she
her ass up
gone.
out of here.
Yeah, yeah. Get out of here. Yeah.
my wife graduated from Howard University. What class were you, baby? 2007. Her sister graduated from Howard University. The disrespect, our nephew is there right now. With the black, my father-in-law, her father is a doctor, one of the face so much racism at what, NYU? So what the hell are y'all
So what's
talking
your point?
about?
I'm like,
So what's your point?
and you're saying all that black people don't
No,
pick
hold
You
on.
can't
themselves
be a
up.
black. You can't be a white man
What are you
black
talking
in black
No,
skin.
stop, because you
Your
just
views,
y'all all laughing and
your
giggling and
views
giggling.
are
And wait,
anti-black.
I'm showing you that I'm more blacker than all y'all. Now I didn't want to pull those cards out on y'all ass. I didn't want to do that, but y'all.
Oh, so you cussing makes you more black. Okay, there you go. That's
I'm not. No, I was
more
never
blacker.
like
Okay.
that. But the disrespect that you guys have been dishing out to me, I have never.
I just asked you, did you
Yeah.
have a white wife? That's not a disrespectful thing.
That's not.
If I'd have said if you had
It's
one,
not a
and then I proceeded to
disrespectful
disrespect you, that was. I asked you what your marital status was, just like you could ask me.
thing.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do, y'all. Here's what I'm gonna do. 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 Everyone is going to get a turn. All right, we're gonna do showtime real quick. Everyone's gonna get a turn because it seems like we're talking past each other at this point. So everyone gets a turn, and walk on by. You're first. You have 1 minute.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Again, this is and I got 1 minute. This is the prime example because yes, we are talking past one another. Nobody can I don't think anybody should be disagreeing with what I'm saying. I'm not talking about what happened in between the Moors, giving the knowledge to the white people. I agree with all of that. What I'm saying is that we Haitians are looking to get into this country. My wife was saying, why are Mexicans fighting to get in this country? This country is kicking Mexicans out like crazy, not kicking us out. So what I'm saying is the advantages that we do have here, that we need to focus on those advantages that we have here by binding together more, having less of an attitude toward having to work hard. Now, why am I
5,
saying that? Because
4,
that's what I see.
3,
I'm a hiring
2,
manager.
1.
My wife is a
Next.
You know
You
what?
have 1 minute. Go ahead, DP. I'm sorry.
You know what? There's no talking through with dude because he's really, really heavily into these identity politics. Man, listen. Dude is constantly saying the same shit over and over again. And he's basically saying black people are lazy, ghetto, dirty, unintelligent, and we're not working. We're not trying hard enough. Even though I just told him, if you look at the matrices, we are outdoing every other group. He has become a part of that black elite. He's a part of that Bill Cosby set where they think they can dictate to all black people how we should be. He's very elitist in his thinking. And that's what a lot of educated black people, sadly, some think that because I made it, everybody else ought to be made it. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. You should be able to do it too. But not everybody has a fucking pair of boots.
2,
And not everybody has
1.
to.
Sorry, DP. It's K's turn. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the white supremacist talking point. Like, basically, what DP just said. He basically is saying, in quotation part, you ninjas are dirty, ghetto, ratchet. I'm like, take yourself out of the bootstraps and you ain't got no clue. That's all I'm hearing. Child. That's basically the crux of what he said. He's basically calling black. These are, it is so wild to me that a black, actually, it's not wild to me. That a black anyway, let me not even go there. The white supremacist talk, it's not a different talking point because it's coming out of a black face. It's still a white supremacist talking point. Like, what are you, child?
5, 4,
Go ahead, Evolving.
3, 2, 1. All right, Evolving, you're next. I appreciate you. 1 minute.
I just wanted to say that it's so telling that all of these people's idea of opportunity, literally, this is a sinking ship. even when if there were no black people here, even if there were no immigrants here, this place has always been unsustainable and harmful for them. So why are you weighing opportunities and the politics and the currencies and the business practices and the work ethic of a bunch of people whose ship is sinking? What's wrong with you? That's what I'm saying. Everything, the points you're articulating aren't even speaking towards the ancestors and the equity and the voluntarism and the consent and the structures and the what they were able to create. Your entire catalog of success is within the YT supremacy box. You don't talk about sustainability or environmental responsibility or abundance. You literally think success is whiteness.
I appreciate you evolving directionally. I know you just got up here. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say, bro.
Hey, how you guys doing? I mean, I don't really have much to say. I've been listening, and I must have pushed the button by mistake, but I accepted it anyways. I've just been learning a lot from you all, and I just want to say, just keep up the good work. That's all. And I'm also from Haiti, so that's all. You can actually put me down if you want. Yeah.
All right, IT. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
All right. I appreciate everyone for explaining yourselves. All right, so yeah, directions. I'm gonna let you down real quick, just so I don't have everything cluttered. All right, walk on by. Do you understand that what everyone was saying? Because what you've said does come off from like the kind of like a boule, white supremacist type of points. Like let's go back to one thing that you said. You were talking about how we're the number one consumers. I have heard that before, and the thing about that is that when you actually research what do black people spend their money on, the majority of it is actually necessities. Like, people think that we spend a lot of our money on luxuries. It's actually necessities that we spend at least 70 to 80% of our money on, because being poor is expensive, and black people disproportionately are poorer, or we do have less income, but we do spend most of that income on things that we need: rent, gas, groceries, car trouble, things like that. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to like consumption, yeah, we consume. Yeah, black people like to have nice things. That's something that we held over from our African ancestors. You see what I'm saying? But it's not like, out of one paycheck, niggas is going out to buy Jordans with it instead of buying food. I'm pretty sure in some cases that does happen, but for the most part, it's not. So when it comes to that at least comes off as a white supremacist talking point, because that's what they say about us. Is that clear? Walk on by, and anyone else can correct me or add to it if you want.
No, absolutely.
Welcome by, you there? I want to know if you know if that's clear or not.
Yeah, I'm very clear with that. I'm gonna restate. What I'm stating is that Haitians are here, Mexicans are here, people are coming over the borders for opportunity. Are we all on the same page there?
Yeah, we're on the same page there, because I'm Haitian, for example.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being. I just want to speak to the honest people, because I'm not trying to be right or trick anybody. I'm trying to reason at the table, and y'all talking crazy.
No, because I'm Haitian, so I get it. A lot of my family come over here, just for the work opportunity, for the money.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's my point.
But we do.
My point is not. It's just like the underlady was saying.
When you're talking down on Black Americans,
Yeah, I'm gonna get it out.
have no point.
I'm gonna get.
Right. I got you. Hold on. Everybody pause. Hold on. I get it. It's passionate right now. So walk on by. Like, take a deep breath, and let's go ahead and.
Well,
go ahead.
it's about 4-on-1. So let me get my little passion out. It's all good, man. So
all good. Go ahead.
Y'all call them the white talking points, and I already proved that I'm blacker than anybody on this panel.
You being black does not change the fact that
you asked if my
white supremacist talking points.
But you're shifting your own standards. You asked if you're talking about white. You're saying my talking points are white.
No, I asked if your wife was black. I asked you a question. It has nothing to do with the conversation.
No. You said I bet his wife is white, and then you saying I have.
No, like, I asked if your wife was white, and we're not gonna play these semantic games. I asked if you got a white wife.
What she responded to when you said I
I
bet
did,
you
and I'm like, and I asked a
you just
question.
forgot, huh? You forgot. All right, let me
That's not
All right, all right. Hold on,
disrespectful
hold
to
on. Pause,
ask a
pause,
black
pause,
man
pause.
if he has a white wife
All
from
right,
white
pause, pause.
supremacist talking
shit, my
point.
point.
I got you, KP. Everybody pause, everybody pause, everybody pause, everybody pause, everybody pause, everybody pause.
Can we get back
Walk
to
on
this?
by. I'm sorry to get on you about this, but you complained earlier about us being about black conversations turning petty, and you're turning petty. Let's move on
You
by.
don't know how
Your
much
your wife
petty
is
at.
black, bro. Your wife is black, bro.
All right,
Let's
thank
move
you.
on by.
I'm just responding, guys, because y'all took it there.
I got you. I got you. I got
I will
you.
take it that
Let's move
however
it
you
on.
keep on trying to
Moderator, you've been
simple.
the most honest here, and I appreciate you, man, because I believe you understand where I'm coming from. That all I'm saying is that whether y'all agree or not, this is the land of opportunities, and I'm saying that we should take more. We should be
But
pushing
the
hard.
idea that you think
I
that
can't
black
even talk.
Americans are not doing that is
I'm not saying
disingenuous
that
and
we're not doing that.
dishonest.
I'm not
I'm,
saying that we're not doing
Yes,
that.
you are.
you're saying that we should do it
You're saying
more.
that black Americans are lazy, they don't
Bro,
work hard enough, and they have an attitude when they
that's
go to
not
work. What
that's
the
not
fuck
what
are you
I'm
talking about?
Well, I'm trying to explain, Kay. And if you want to drop me again, then that's fine. But
And if you
if you're
keep on
not,
spooning these talking points, I am because you
let
piss
me
me
talk.
off.
Let me talk, then, please, and just listen with an ear so you can hear what I'm
I've been
saying.
listening with the ear
Oh,
for the
all
whole
right, then.
time. Bossy, have I not?
Yeah,
So,
she has. So welcome by.
I
Just
ain't never been this
Who
patient,
can
but if you
respond?
keep on trying me, bitch, I'm gonna kick you out of this live.
yeah. All right. So
You're not gonna
let's.
disrespect black Americans like that.
Yeah, because you'll be disrespecting yourself if you do. You'll be disrespecting yourself if you do walk on by. You feel me? Okay, so let's do this. I got you. Because passions are going up now. Okay, let's do this. Walk on by. Just get straight into your point. Like, what is? Because are you saying that Black Americans should be taking advantage of opportunities more than what we are, or how what are you trying to say? Let's get into that.
that what I'm saying is, and let me just say what I'm not saying, because this is the problem. I'm not saying that we're not working hard. I'm not saying that the system is not against us. The system is against Haitians, Mexicans, against a lot of people. The system is for white people. But that doesn't say that there's not opportunities, and even we should be pursuing.
I said that.
Man,
No, go
boy,
ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish. You want to you said there are opportunities, right? There are opportunities, right?
thank you.
And you're saying that we are taking advantage of opportunities.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is I brought up our spending because credit is very important. Credit is something that we individually build our credit individually. And so that means that if we swipe our credit card, we have the money to pay it off instead of swiping the credit card. A lot of us don't have great credit scores, which does impact.
Credit score is literally I'm like a
I'm not
619.
talking
Try
about,
again.
man, golly, man. Wow.
All right. Well, welcome by. I do have something to say about the whole credit thing, but I want you to finish what you were saying about credit, because I do want to respond to that as well, because that actually does have white supremacist origins. I'm not sure if you know about that. Well, you should, because you're educated. You should know about it, right?
Well, listen, moderator, I'm not saying it does. See, this is the problem. The problem is, and my wife's telling me to get off, but the problem is you guys aren't hearing me. I'm not saying anything that you guys are not saying. I'm not saying anything that you guys are not saying. Yes, it has the origin in white supremacy. I'm not talking about the origin. I'm talking about today's reality and our responsibility.
You cannot talk
So
about
why do you
today's
think?
reality without discounting anti-blackness and how it
discounting
affects black
anything.
people.
I'm not
That's
discounting anything.
disingenuous.
Okay, so walk on by. Let me ask this.
Come with
Walk
a
on by.
life jacket.
Right. So walk on by. Let me ask this. Let me ask this. So we know that credit is white supremacist in origin, and we know that that's going to affect us, right? That's why a lot of us even start off with bad credit just because we're black. You feel what I'm saying? So when you say that, when it comes to credit, what is the advantage there that you think that we should be taking advantage of, or what are we doing bad with credit? Because the thing is with credit is that why a lot of us need to use credit is because there are things that we necessarily need that we have to use our credit card for, because we might not have the income to do it yet. Does that make sense, or are you saying that we're just bad with credit? Like, which one are you saying?
I'm not unreasonable. I'm not talking about that.
Okay, so which one are you talking about? Let me understand.
Listen to what I'm saying. Y'all not listening.
Go ahead.
Talking about
I've
our
literally been listening.
responsibility.
Volsi,
Hey,
hold on.
please let him.
Let me just
I'm
say,
trying, y'all. I really am trying. I
all
really am
along
trying.
have I not been patient and listening the
You
entire
have. You know,
conversation?
you really have. You are way more patient than I've ever seen you because you really
I'm like,
have.
you know me. I am quick to cuss someone out.
Just been ignoring this fool so I can keep my sanity. I listen when
I'm
y'all
just trying to
talk. I
figure
just
out.
ignore him when he starts talking.
I'm just trying
I'm
to
really
figure out.
trying to understand where he's coming from. I really am. I really am, yo.
Land my
I'm trying
plane
my
and
best.
I'll,
I
I'll
really
land
am.
my plane. Can I moderate? Can I just land my plane and I'll let everybody go? I'll
Okay,
just
okay.
get off.
So when it comes to the credit thing, where are you trying to go with that? Go ahead, let me know.
I'm just saying our individual responsibility to build our own credit. And
Hmm.
my parents didn't teach me about credit. My
Hmm.
wife and I had to learn about it to get our credit scores right so we can go get a house. We
Hmm.
didn't my dad was constantly saying, don't mess your credit up, boy. Don't so me and my brother say, man, they say that, but they never taught us about credit. So
Okay, gotcha.
it becomes our responsibility to learn about the credit system
Huh.
because they're not necessarily, now listen to what I'm saying, not necessarily looking at our color more than can we afford the house.
Gotcha. Okay.
Banks want to know if because they want to make a sale. If you have the money, why would they turn away? Now I know in certain instances they do that, but I'm
Hmm.
saying that if you have the money to buy, they want your money. That's my
Okay,
point.
no, no, I got you, I got you. But I do get where you're coming from. Walk on by, but yeah, just like how you said, in certain instances, even in at that point, they'll turn you down. But the main problem with that is that um I will kind of bet you my bottom dollar that you have a higher interest rate than the white person down the block. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's not just that. It's not even when we do have the credit and the money, even if when they accept our money and everything like that, we get higher interest rates just because of this. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what we need to deal with. Now, when it comes to credit, I do agree with you. In our schools, they should be teaching more about credit, about how it works, and if you have $100 card and you spend one on it, your credit score is going to go down like 75 points. Like, yeah, like that should be taught. Like we should be all be taught that. I don't think anyone disagrees
But
there.
should we
But
get it
I
on
think
the
it's the
school?
other part that I'll talk about. You feel me? Like our
Should we
higher
get
interest rates, even on our credit cards. Like a black young teenager will get a higher interest rate than a white young teenager, even if they have the same income in their family. Like your sons and your daughters, they may have a higher interest rate on their credit card than a white teenager does. You see what I'm saying? And that's the part that we need to address as well. Does
No,
that make sense? And DP wants to go. Go ahead, walk on by.
moderator. That's not, and that, I'm with you. That's not fair. That's white and racist, and I hate it.
Hmm?
I hate that. We talk about white people all goddamn day. So this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we cannot continue. We have 3 children right here sitting eating broccoli and they food. And
Hmm.
what I'm saying is we can't teach them. The schools aren't teaching them enough to survive. The world of America is against them. So what I'm saying is like, yeah, we got to learn how to take advantage of stuff. There's tax advantage. There's a number of advantages that we have in America as to the reason why people are trying to get over the border. So I'm just
No,
saying, hey, I'm just saying we
walk
need
on
to.
by.
I'll say one more thing, and I'm gonna end. With another
Walk on
opportunity.
by. I'm like, we're gonna let DP go.
My
Yeah, and evolving had his hand up as well, and then after that will be Misfit. DP evolving, whichever one you guys want to go first, because I know you both had your hands up. Go ahead, DP.
Evolving. I mean, thank you. Oh, did he leave? I
He
guess.
did. I think it looks like he did. It looks like he did.
You know what,
Dang.
dude? Listen, I hear where he's coming from,
I was trying, yo. I'm
but
sorry. I was
he
trying.
was so
Listen, I kicked him
like.
down that one time, but I did not
I
kick
wanted
you.
him. I wanted to ask him about how white appraisers devaluate black people's houses by hundreds of thousands of dollars. See, he's somebody who's trying to work. He's so busy trying to work within the white power structure. He's so busy trying to be a part of, as I said before, that elite black class that they feel fits up under the white power structure, that he's not seeing. We need to be about more credit. I wanted to ask him, where is he not seeing that? There are white people that don't have good credit. Asian people, Latino people don't have good credit. You either want good credit or you don't. It's not a black thing. That's why I didn't understand where he was coming from saying, well, we're not taking advantage of all these things. There are millions of black people. Why do we have the most educated women out of anybody? That's what I didn't understand. He's acting like we're not doing shit. Or he's thinking, well,
Even
maybe we're not doing enough. Well, enough of what?
the organization that you mentioned, the like the Fearless Fund that was helping
Fearless
Black
Fun.
Yeah, he
women.
never touched on that. He never had a comeback for that because that's a perfect example of us black people doing what he said we should do, and white people swooped in and found a legal way to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, his whole mindset is white supremacy tainted with black elitism.
It
That's
sure
what
is.
he is. And then he wants to talk
You know
about
what it's
everybody
giving? It's
breaking
giving
down
the
the door.
Dubois talking points. Like
Yeah,
the
he wants to talk about everybody wants to come here. Yes, everybody wants to come here. Everybody from Mexico and South America wants to come here. It's the land of opportunity, yes, because they're coming here to get those low-paying jobs that they know they're going to get. I always tell people, and this is my last point on this, white people fear us. They are in awe of us because they know who we really are. They have circumnavigated this damn world and seen who we are from every corner of it. They don't give a damn about Latinos. They don't give a damn about Asians. They don't give a damn about Indians. Their purpose is to keep us beneath them because they always have the fear that if we ever get into power, we will do to them the things that they've done to us. And like
wasn't that
Farrakhan
the
said,
fear
that
about
is not the
Obama back in
Look,
mindset of
08?
black people.
I just
Exactly.
wanted to say one thing to this whole thing, which is, and I said it when he was up here, which is that, and him and the other woman that was up here before, their entire idea of success is tied to YT supremacy and colonialism. They have no idea without it. They're talking about credit. They're talking about businesses. They're talking about economics. What about gardening? What about egalitarianism? What about community organizing? What about agriculture? Like the things that actually sustain a species, because economics don't sustain a species, food does. Politics doesn't sustain a species, food and water, the things that we're poisoning now, does. They never, like, I don't have to call them a white supremacist just because they are ignoring and they're being anti-black and they're ignoring all of the history. They are scientifically a white supremacist because they do not care about any relationship or relation to the natural world and the environment and the sustainability of their system. And I'll land with this. Their system was built with holes in it before racism. Racism just made the holes bigger, which is why I ask, why are you so concerned with becoming better at being a passenger on a sinking ship?
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
and we do
also
have
to
a.
completely ignore that that those same those same immigrants, those same people are coming here off the work of that Black Americans did. That and mainly some of it being free labor, the chattel slavery in this country, along with the civil rights movement, is by people of color. People who are non-white are able to come here and to get opportunities, right? It is literally off of the body, and the blood of Black people that they're able to do that. So to completely ignore that very large context, and to say that Black people need to basically pick themselves up by the bootstraps is fucking wild behavior to me, and it's so aggravating.
Same. All right, y'all. I do appreciate all y'all being up here one more time. Let me just say one last thing. All right, y'all. We got 17K likes, 51 people in here. Y'all make sure to follow and gift everyone on the panel because they are dropping gems up here. I'm learning a lot. I'm getting educated by the people who are up here as well. And again, I was trying, y'all. I was trying to get where he was coming from. I really was. I was trying to see where he was going.
Listen, Volsi, you would never have seen me give that much space in
Never.
my life.
Never. I was really surprised. I'm like, man, she's gonna kick him and block him in about 2 seconds.
I
did.
gave so much. I tried my best. I really, I tried,
Right.
girl.
I know
I
you tried.
my best.
I know you tried. And I
was
do
trying
appreciate
my
that.
best because everything in me wanted to cuss him out the moment he started talking.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also, too, let me say this. When these people holler about this, everybody wants to come here. Mexicans are this. Let me tell them something. When they come here based upon our struggle, number one. Number two, they come here with a built-in language system and a built-in, very strong community. The Indians are now doing it. The Arabs are now doing it. And they come here with the approval of the white people because that's one more group that they can put pit against black people. They don't see
They
it.
use
Like
them as a
someone
buffer class.
exactly.
Basically.
And then they sit here like that one person earlier on said, well, the Japanese in internment camps. Then people were interned for 4 years. And when they got out, everything they lost
They
was
were
given
given
back to them.
reparation,
And they got
first of
preferential
all.
treatment because of it. So they kill me with that, oh, well, this person was like that one Ethan dude, Ioni dude, he had some stupid shit where I'm gay and we're doing okay. And I wanted to tell him, listen, girl, can you hide your sexuality? Because I can't hide this. You can't hide that. Walk on by. We can't hide our blackness. But if you take a little switch out your ass or deepen your voice or whatever it is you do and don't use so many girls and whatnot, you can hide your sexuality. You cannot hide your blackness. See, that's the type of bullshit with them that irritates me. You want to put yourself in a minority class, but then you come up with those fucking racist ass, supremacist ass talking points. But at the end of the day, everybody want to come here because they have a built-in structure for them that they can work within that is uniquely curtailed to them. And the most important thing is they come here, and yes, all these Latinos are the new slave working class because they're going to work for those low wages. They're going to do those jobs that other people are not going to do. And God bless them, because I'm not picking a damn fruit. I'm not doing none of that stuff. But they need to understand what the purpose is for them to be here, to keep the capital machine running and to be a buffer group against black people. Because at the end of the day, it always boils down to how I tell people all the time, this fight we're in is a fight against black and white. It always has been. And sadly, it probably will always be. You look at the Native Americans, they came in, fucked them people over, and what do? They went to their reservations and they stayed there. They can't keep us down.
After I'm like,
They know
after
how fucking
they're
resilient we
ethno
are.
cleansing them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though they've tried to kill us and destroy us, they can't. We are too damn resilient. So they are forever finding ways to keep their fucking foot
Put on our
on.
neck.
Now, Trump talking about bringing South Americans and South Africans. No, he's bringing in basically a new class of fucking white Nazis. If he
Basically.
goes through this shit.
Basically,
That's
a
what
bunch
he's
of
doing.
Elon Musk.
He's bringing
Definitely.
in a whole new subset of ultra racist white supremacists to just continue to stoke the anti-blackness that this country was built on. And I'm out. I'm done.
No problem.
But
Appreciate
also
you,
to
DP.
add to that point, like I feel like a lot of us, specifically in this country, when we talk about race, right? I don't think people are taking into consideration. There was actually a woman that even mentioned this before, but I want to expand upon that point about how many groups of this country has fought to assimilate into whiteness and unity. What I'm like, because currently under our laws of how we define race in the United States, we have 5 racial categories, and people who are Arab actually fall under the white category according to the United States government. So you have people who are coming in from the Middle East who are by United States law, as brown as some of them are not even phenotypically white, but based on the laws of this country, the law counts them as such. If you look
Oh
at, I
yeah.
want you to actually look that up. Look up the 5 racial categories that of the United States, and I want you to look at what they define as white.
Oh yeah. They changed that. You're right. I was shocked. I think I read that like last year. Now Middle Easterners are not considered white.
Yep.
Middle
By our United States law, yes, they
yeah,
are.
are considered white people for
Because of what?
census, whatever category for census, accounting
Purposes.
and so forth. Thank you. I can think of the word purposes. Exactly. Middle Easterners are now considered white. So that means Moroccans, can be considered white.
White. Yeah.
I'm like, and
Egyptians
what's even
can
more
be
wild
considered
to me
white
that
now.
they also consider North Africans. Now, there was like a whitening of Egypt and stuff like that. That's a whole other conversation. But there are
Exactly.
actually black North Africans. I know
But they
because
could be considered
I have
white
a
though.
homegirl of mine.
And
And her
think
home,
about it. And when you think about it, Somalis are an Arabic speaking people. So if Arabs are white, they're gonna start saying who else is white?
Well,
Somalis too.
they can also say that
Exactly. So
Somalis are
I
white.
feel like people. I'm like, and mind you, like it's actually wild because I was looking that up the other day because I had just because right before the election I had like did the census, right, like a lot of us do, and I'm like, and of course I was filling out the information. So for me, right, it's black. I'm like and slash African American. That is my race and ethnicity. And I'm like, and I happen to pass just at the glance of my eye, look at the white portion, and it says people of European, Middle Eastern, and North African descent are legally, by United States law, are racialized under the law as white. So not only are they using some of these groups as a buffer class, but they are also using some of these groups that are even not even racially white. And and how they are how they phenotypically look and what their experience is in this country. They are also using them to keep their numbers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like, what are you gonna do? We had Misfit up here. She's been up here for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I appreciate you being patient, Misfit. Are
Oh
you
no,
there?
it's all good. Obviously, this isn't my space. It's just I just kind of come in here to learn, so
Okay.
how I can kind of make the arguments that everyone else here is making. Obviously, as a European and as a YT European, obviously I can't I understand to a full extent because I won't go through it. Everyone else in here is going through it. It's just how I can help. It was more when he was bringing up a lot of credit, not understanding how to build credit. Also, if people of color has like a 5 to 10% higher interest rate, like especially within like mortgages or bank loans, it's going to be a lot harder and going to take a lot longer to build up credit compared to YT counterparts.
It took me.
I didn't even get to that
get
part.
my 619.
Yeah, that's what he
It
was
took
telling
me
him though.
years.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what Boyce was telling him, that it's he doesn't understand that he wants to work so far within the system, and I get it. You have to work within the system, but also you have to be tearing the damn system down, because if you're working within the system, you're only going to rise so far as the system lets you go, and then you hit your ceiling. The object is to work within the system to dismantle it, not
Exactly.
to keep it up. That's
Exactly.
that's the goal.
Can everybody pause for 1 second? I gotta get to Thomas. Thomas, you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Are you over 18 and do you disagree with anything I have on the board?
Let's see here. No, I don't.
I hope
For
you
the
watch
most part.
your hands.
Don't tell me you washing dishes, bro.
Actually, I'm getting ready to walk away from it. I was running water to make myself a cup of water, and you picked me. I was like, oh no, this man ain't gonna give me time to do nothing. The main reason I'm chiming in.
Oh my god! I thought you were peeing right on live. I'm like,
I'm like, don't tell me, brother.
No.
Don't tell me the brother wash the dishes.
Hey,
Inside.
I wanted to jump on what KK had said. It just came to my attention today that Donald Trump signed an executive order to allow white South Africans to come over to the United States as refugees, and they're going to cut off aid to South Africa. So we're about to see an influx a very large influx of anti-white people coming in from South Africa, similar to what happened with the Ukrainians.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things that folks are going to have to be aware of and keep your eye out for. They're basically going to try and
also keep in
repeat,
mind with the history.
fix
specifically white South Africans. We're
what they were
also
doing
talking
with
about people who
a
started
lot of the Hispanics.
in South Africa. So it's a whole.
Say that again, Thomas, about the Hispanics. I didn't catch that. I'm sorry, Kay, for talking over you. What'd you say?
Oh no, because specifically
A
with
lot.
the point. Specifically with the point about white South Africans seeking refuge in in the United States and Donald Trump's bill, I think what people are not even taking into context is we're talking about a group of people who started apartheid in South Africa not that long ago that just ended. Right?
1948.
Mm-hmm.
1948. The Afrikaners took power. in South Africa,
Yep, it didn't
1940.
stop until 1994.
I'm like, and we are
Crazy.
talking about a group of people who not only have extremely anti-black sentiments, but managed while being 7% of that country to
To control
oppress and control its
nearly
entire black population, its indigenous
entire.
populations.
Mhm.
Yes, they're gonna
Exactly. And
come in
now, and
they're gonna teach
mhm.
white Americans on how to handle how to try and run apartheid over here, basically.
And you know
Exactly.
what? And you know what? I said that. I swear to God, y'all. I said that. I said white people are fearful, are losing the numbers, especially with more Latinos coming over here. And I said before white people like that happen, they're gonna find a way. And I said they're gonna look at apartheid, how they did it, how 7% controlled the other 97, and they're going to start looking for ways to do that here because white people will not allow themselves to be governed by anybody.
Hmm.
It's definitely not nobody that's black or any other shade in between the two. And I said they're looking for these people so that they can learn the tactics and start implementing them
And
because
you know what the other thing is,
their
DP,
control is
that you
just
bring up with them
brutality.
being,
Also,
you brought up them being like afraid of us.
apartheid also was inspired by mind you, they use some of
Yeah,
our
go
the
ahead,
white
Dad. I'm
our
sorry.
I hate to say it like this, but our white tactics specifically how they targeted black communities in the United States to enact apartheid in South Africa. They were using inspiration inspired by the Jim Crow era. Which is what I find interesting that now they're gonna bring them over here to basically teach them how to quote quote keep these niggas so to speak in check. Okay.
And you know what's
Well,
what else
it's gonna be
that I
ex-
found out? What else I found out? Like there was a recent I think it was a recent study that came out that it said that racism against black people is not actually based in hate. It's based in fear. So what DP brought up about them being afraid of us and how evolving said scientifically this is what it is. Yeah, so even scientifically, all this keeping us like oppressed, they're afraid of us. They really are afraid of us, y'all. So and like
Clear, they
fear
do not
always
want.
becomes anger.
And let's also be
Exactly.
clear, all of this, because I was a kid when Obama had originally got into office, but I do remember like the sentiment, like of a lot of watching like specifically certain news stations back then about how basically they didn't. They were furious that they were going to be governed by a black family. Furious, furious, and I feel like that's a partially why Donald Trump was elected in 2019
It's
because
exactly the reason.
right
I'll
because
Hmm.
get
they did not
Yeah,
want
it was a
because they just
backlash,
got about
blowback.
8 years of being governed by a black family, and quite frankly, they didn't want to be governed by a woman either.
I think
Okay.
So
I think the sorry, I think the thing that kind of a lot of the talking points I keep hearing getting brought up is like he's going to fix our economy, but they don't understand how he's going to do it. Like if you want to vote for someone to boost your economy, then Bernie Sanders would have been the much better choice because his
I
structure.
agree with you. Don't get me wrong.
I
I
agree
would have
with you too.
no.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't actually have a disagreement there, right?
But you know what?
But it came down to Donald Trump and
Mhm.
Hillary. Now, if it were Donald Trump and Hillary and Bernie Sanders, I actually would have chose Bernie Sanders because I agreed more with a lot of Bernie stances versus Hillary, right? I actually thought Bernie would have been a much better candidate than Hillary,
I
at the
do too.
time.
I do
So,
too.
so let me.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't actually have any disagreement there.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
But I
Definitely.
want what I wanted to get back to was what Kay said, because Kay, what it's called is a death tantrum, and that's what white people had after Barack Obama got elected. They had a death tantrum. They were so devastated and so afraid that they threw a death tantrum and they brought in Donald Trump, like a little kid, but to the 10th degree level. They brought him in, and then when everybody saw how he handled the pandemic, we got him out. But then that old racism, he stoked it well. He stoked it well. and they brought him back in. And now they brought him in knowing everything he was going to do. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. White people do not have a problem with America burning down to the ground. They have no problem with America being destroyed and being burned to the ground as long as a white person is holding the matches and starting the fire.
Absolutely.
They
And
do not care.
that's
All right, can you, everybody pause for me real quick? Bird is the word. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Are you over 18? And I do see that you disagree with what a few of what we're saying, correct?
No, that's what I wanted to clear up. But what was your other question?
Are you over 18?
Yes.
All right, great. What did you need to clear up? Because it seems that you disagree with us. So now I'm seeing that you didn't. What did you need to clear
No,
up?
I actually don't. I had a question, and I guess it set off a few people in the chat because that's not. I guess tone was lost in the tiny text box or something. I don't know.
Sure.
So my question was when I'm sorry I don't remember which person it was that said this. When somebody made a comment that I think I'm paraphrasing, so I apologize if I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I don't remember the exact verbatim. Somebody said that America's like not ready for a black leader or something like that, and I was just kind of confused because we had one already. Now I'm not saying that we shouldn't have more of them.
No, I think you were referring to what I had said. No, I had
Was
said
it?
that I'm like that America wasn't ready for a black family to govern the country at the time that
Oh, okay. I was
not
just
I'm like
confused.
yes. So let me be clear. Like no, that's not.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that because I was like, wait a minute, didn't we have like I?
Yes, we did. We
Yeah,
did.
not saying we
But
don't need more of
I
them.
was naming the context of
Yeah.
because let's be
Okay.
clear, like the racism and the anti-blackness specifically that was targeted towards the Obamas was absolutely what I remember. Like, for example, like
Mhm.
Michelle Obama, she came out years ago, and and she was, literally. She does not. I'm like she. First of all, one of the reasons she doesn't even want to run for president is because, quite frankly, she has trauma from the
Oh
8 years
gosh.
that that their family was in the White House. Like
Okay.
the misogynoir that was targeted at Michelle
Yeah.
was just disgusting. To this
Mm-hmm.
day, like I'm like even knowing that she gave birth to two children, like
They
y'all
still
want to
call
question
her
this
man.
woman's gender. Like it's
They do.
ridiculous.
I just had someone question that. I could you not like 2 days ago. Like she's a man. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Insanity.
like,
Can you
like.
clarify, please? I missed it. I didn't hear
No,
what happened
I
recently.
said like the anti-blackness and the misogynoir that was specifically targeted towards Michelle during her time in office was just disgusting. Like I said, to
Yes,
this day,
but
knowing she gave birth to two children, they are still
okay.
questioning this woman's gender. Like
Mm-hmm.
Wait, do you mean like
it's ridiculous.
today? Like still?
Yeah, still,
Yes,
it's still
it's
happening.
well, yes, it is.
Yes,
I don't think they
yes.
question it, but they still make derogatory remarks, Bert.
Right.
And Bert, can I ask you a
Oh.
question? Might I
They,
ask
I'm
how old you
like
are?
first of all, the way that y'all masculinize black women is already disgusting. But I'm like, it's already disgusting.
Mhm.
But let's be clear, like that woman gave birth to two children, and people are questioning whether, first of all, it shouldn't even be a
Yeah.
conversation because her fucking her medical history and her fucking private parts ain't none of y'all fools' business.
Fair
So
point.
let's start there. Second of all, she gave birth to two children. Why are you questioning this
Yeah,
woman's
it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
it's crazy.
But, but I want to
and she
know if
gave two,
Bird could.
Well,
and she gave
you know,
birth to
anti-blackness
two
doesn't have to
successful
have
Yeah,
black
logic behind it.
daughters
You know.
at that.
but I
What
want
did
to
you
ask
ask
Bird a question.
DP or DPH? I don't know
Yeah,
how to say that.
yeah, DPH is fine. I wanted to ask you, how old are you, dear?
I'm 31.
Oh, good. So I wanted to ask you something because
Okay.
if you had a handle on it, what do you think happened in 2008 when we did have Barack Obama, and then when he got reelected? What happened within, I think, the white community, if you can kind of, if you even know or thought about it, that made that happen, and
Mhm.
then we fast forward, 8 years later, and we got two Donald Trumps.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. I can. I can kind of answer, but I do have to put some disclaimers on it. But
Okay, well,
number one, I was raised in a predominantly white family, but I am not. Let's just say somebody had some fun that they lied about, and my ancestry shows I was not from the guy that they said I was from. So apparently I'm part black. But, so they ain't as racist as they claim.
Bird, let me ask you this. Phenotypically, what do you
Somebody be
present
liking that, you know? I'm just
Bird, phenotypically, how do you present? Do you present as a white woman?
So to be perfectly honest, I don't know, and I'm just now starting to decondition parts of me that I didn't know were conditioned, because I've had people look at me and say, "What are you?" And I said, "What you mean?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then the older people in my family would go, "We're white." And I said, "Okay, but why do I look different from my friend? Like, why'd they ask me that?" And they said, they basically just the gaslighting and the ignoring it. So to be honest, it depends. It depends on whether, like, I get sick and my skin color changes. So I'm mostly, for the most part, like, I would say I look pretty white. Like, I couldn't really pass as a black person.
That's
There you
the
go.
conversation. Like,
Yeah.
there are like spicy whites. Like I would think of Meghan,
Right.
I would think of like Meghan Markle could pass as like a spicy like white Mexican
She
or
definitely could.
Right.
Mhm.
versus like Tia and Tamara or Yara Shahidi, who phenotypically look like black women.
Black. Mhm.
Yeah, I wouldn't pass as that, but when I was little, before I got sick, I looked like a Filipino kid. So,
Okay. I see the color she's going for,
Yeah.
Racially ambiguous to
but
Right.
more white passing.
some degree,
Gotcha.
yeah. Okay.
Right.
But the point, Bird, was I want to hear your point, really, dear. I really do.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to answer both of you, and it's kind of hard because Kay has like a super strong personality that's very attractive, but I don't want to like spend all my attention on one person.
I
It's
personally
just hard
believe it
because
was
she
because of
dominates
the
the room, and
acquisitions.
I don't want to be like,
Nah,
I don't
nah.
want to ignore
mean it in
her.
that way. I'm just trying to keep the
I know.
Gotcha. But yeah, Bert. So what do you think? Like snapped in the white community after 2008, like how DPH was asking, like, what do you think happened?
Yeah, so I it's not a pretty picture, to be honest, but I think we need to learn as a country so we can finally snub it out. From what I saw from my family, because again, I can only speak in the community I grew up in. It was predominantly white. We had only like 2 black people in the whole community, and I didn't realize how underrepresented they were because I didn't know anything other than what I was put into. You know what I mean, at the time. So I kind of wish that it had been different now, but I didn't know that back then. So watching, what happens is, and you're not going to like this answer, but it's the truth, and we need to get rid of it in this country.
Let's, honey,
So
just
what?
tell your truth. If you know what you
So
tell
the raw truth. That's
yeah, because I don't want anybody to be like, "Oh, you're part of the white people that hate," and I'm not. I'm not.
No, Bert.
No, go ahead, tell us. Go ahead,
So
tell
what
us.
We're
happened?
asking for the honest truth.
Yeah, and I'll give it to you. So what happened, and this happened with women too, but since you're asking about black people specifically, I'll answer. So in my family, what I saw was that there was a heavy, I don't know if you can call it Christian nationalist, but it's kind of giving that kind of creep vibe. What they did was they would say that they weren't racist, which is really confusing because we actually had a Pacific Islander full black in the family. So I was super fucking confused. So we had, he was like a distant, he wasn't like in the immediate family, I guess. So I don't know how this worked. But what happened was when the election was going on, I was super young, didn't know that much about politics at the time, was just starting to come into it and all that. What I was watching was, from seeing my family react, my stepmother literally called when we got the election results, because I actually voted for Obama. And when we got the election results, she came downstairs, and I'll never forget this. She said, "So the monkey won, did he?" And I said, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, she's saying that because he's black." And I'm like, what do I do? Well, I was fucking dumb at the time. I didn't know that people were doing this because I didn't know any better. Like, I literally looked at my cousin once And I said, "What she's talking about? We don't have any black people in the
Yeah,
family." Just
that's race. That's a
because I
race,
can't see
typical
color.
racist trope towards. It's rooted in race science. They literally
I didn't know that
said
back
that we were
then.
compared.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were that our features and
But
Yeah,
how is
sometimes
that?
even our
It's
skulls were more like similar to primates than.
but it's not. It's just a normal
I
human
know,
skull.
we
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but like
yeah. We
that's
know,
we're
but
talking about the history of where
Oh,
that
I
comes
see. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that at the time. I literally just saw people as people until they started training us. No, you can't hang out with these people. You're going to be punished. No, you can't like I wasn't allowed to hang out with people with special needs because we're not allowed to be quote unquote around those people. And it was what happened was basically
anti-blackness,
yeah.
ableism.
So what happened was I had a friend that I don't even think she was black to be honest, but she was passing as black. I think she was like Islander or something. But they wouldn't let me hang around her that much, and now I'm starting to wonder if that was why. What they did was to answer DPH's question. I'm not trying to like take up too much of your time, but all of this went into it. So what happened is they condition children who think that there's nothing wrong with love and everybody into thinking the brainwashing that they do with the cult with the church. They say stuff like, you have to show up on Sundays and you have to be like this. And if you question it, you're punished. If you question it, you're pushed out of the family. If you question it, you're a disappointment. If you question it, you're stupid. If you like all of these things. So you're not allowed to, it's either you lose connection with your family, which I did cut them off. I haven't talked to them in years, but my dad wasn't racist like that, but he also was clearly not white and he thought that he was. So I don't know what happened there, but basically to answer your question, DPH, it's a combination of conditioning and social isolation. So what I think would fix this is if we expose those kids, like I wasn't exposed, if we can expose them more to other people so that you can talk to other people and engage with them. Like I'm learning so much shit, even just tonight. I didn't know you guys were charged higher interest rates. When the fuck has that been like I never knew that shit.
And that's
Yes,
why
happening for a
Bird.
minute.
Like it took.
And
It's
that's why
actually.
Bird.
It took me. I started to build my credit at 20. I am now just at like 27, able to get. Let's say I have a 619 credit score. Like it is actually wild. It
But you know
took me
what?
like 6-7 years to get. What took my to take my YT friend literally 3 years.
Yeah, see, that's not okay. And they lied to us and told us, DPH, they would tell us there's no such thing as shit. What's the word? I can't think. There's no such thing as sexism anymore, and there's no such thing as racism anymore. And they told us that over and over and over again, no matter what I would ask about it, because when I went to college, they started bringing it up. And my dad would say, this is where you guys come in. So my dad would say, show me the evidence that that's happening. And I'm like, I don't fucking know because I don't have any friends that are going through it. I can't do that. You know what I mean? So I didn't know where to find it. And I thought, well, maybe he's right. Maybe I am just stupid. Maybe I am just, not understanding like how things work. Maybe I'm just buying into this whole trope of being afraid of everything, when in actuality, that's real life, right? But that's not what they told you. What they tell you is that's not really happening. If it's happening to somebody else, and here's what we need to deal with for the MAGA side too. If it's happening to somebody, they claim that it's happening, right? So no matter what it is, whether it's sexism, racism, whatever, they say, oh, show me the evidence of that. How the fuck am I supposed to get evidence of somebody calling somebody a name like that? How am I supposed, where do I find that? So you have to find it by people's stories, right? And then you have to find the statistics. Like if somebody had showed me the stat of the mortgage rates being off, I would have been able to show that to my dad. But because I didn't have it, I didn't have anything to really maybe I was wrong. You know what I mean? So if we could fix that, then we could just finally, I can't even fucking believe that it's 2025. It's been what, 2,000 fucking years? Why are we still fighting about this? Why can't we all just, I don't understand. And I was on another live a second ago.
We are 405 years. I'm like season 200.
Right. Right. Why are we still stuck on this? And I was asking somebody else, like, why is it still an issue with apparently the Israelis or like the Palestinian, like, what's the race issue there too? Like, why does it matter? Why can't we just get past this shit and just,
I'm like, and black
and
people just
fix
got
it?
done
Because
with that.
Bird, the sad truth is, and two quick points. You can
Okay.
see that with what these governors and these states are doing with taking diversity and inclusion out, taking out affirmative action, taking out black studies, minority
Hell,
studies.
even like the affirmative action
White
that they did
supremacy,
before that.
white supremacy operates in a vacuum of ignorance, fear, and hatred. You have to have all three of those operating together in order for white supremacy to work and to be effective. So they are now legislatively putting in white supremacy. Now they want the 10 Commandments and they want prayer back in school and all of that because the white nationalists, as you said, are building on to that. And the second part of my statement is with Palestine in 2,000 years is sadly because, Bird, white people have gone around this world for thousands of years, and I'm going back to the Romans and the Greeks, and they
Yeah.
have seen what everybody else has,
Okay.
and I think it's a deep inferiority thing that they look at how
I'm
people
wondering
can
that
share
too.
their gold, how they can share their medicine, how they can share
Yeah.
their wealth, and not expect anything back from it, but to give it as free thinking people. Black people have been circumnavigating the world for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, but we never went nowhere and enslaved nobody, stole their stuff, and
Right.
genocided nobody. Because we did not feel the need. We felt we could share and we could trade. We did not feel the need to conquer. And there's something about Europeans to where and I wish somebody could explain this to me, their need to have to conquer. And I think it's just a insecurity thing that is so deep rooted in them to where, they just have to be in control and control everything and everybody for them to feel safe. There's no reason why
Yeah.
Israel and Palestine cannot have coexisted. There is no
Right.
There's
Right.
no
Like,
reason.
why?
yet.
You
For
know,
70 years, they have been slaughtering those people. There was enough land for those people to both coexist and have two nations and work, symbiotically with each other. But yet, and the problem is because those Jews are from Europe, and some of those Jews are ex-Nazis. They really are. We found that out with the Red Cross. They were
how is that
giving
possible?
people
Oh wow.
new identities as they were getting the Jews out of Germany. A lot of Germans slipped in, which is crazy, into Israel. Same thing with Argentina. Argentina wins their nation of black people. Why? Because a lot of the Nazis got their tail to Argentina, who did not have an extradition treaty with anybody, and that racism flourished, and they there. So it's just something
I
within,
didn't
and
know
it's not
that.
all white people, but it's enough to where, it's like,
Too
why
many.
do we have to all be in control of everything and everybody? Colonialism speaks for itself. There's
Yeah.
not a place on the earth that hasn't been touched by colonialism, with the exception of Ethiopia on the African continent, that has not been touched. Australia, New Zealand, all the Pacific Islands. So every place has been touched by European colonialism. That is not something that should be underrated. There is a need for those people from that place to be in control and have their hands in and on everything of everybody else. And that's the one thing that I wish somebody could explain to me. Why do they think they have to do that?
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you, are you
I'm
having
I'm
the
sorry,
same
Bert.
problem?
Can you pause for me
Yeah.
real quick? All right, y'all. 39 people in here, 2K likes. I'm gonna be going on almost 3 hours, so I'm gonna end soon if we don't get any more ops or any more people who want to come up and discuss. But I appreciate you being up here, Bird. Give me 1 second. Issa, you there?
Yeah.
How you doing, Issa? I think you're a friendly of mine, right?
I am a friendly. Yeah, I've been in here since Walk On By, and that other internalized racist was in here earlier.
Oh,
Right, right.
girl. I'm like,
Yeah.
you had to suffer from that too.
I never listened to this live before, and I just caught on to you guys, and I love this live. I'm following. I'm make sure I follow everybody. I follow Evolving and Volty so far, but yeah, I don't know how you guys tolerated all that so well, because that was just infuriating to
Girl,
hear,
neither do I.
especially from like from black people of all people. And to make the excuse about black people who can't trace their lineage to American chattel slavery, because my father's from Belize, and he immigrated here in the 70s, and I totally get where my Haitian friend here is talking about how every single opportunity that we have as black immigrants, we have opportunities because of the fight of black Americans. And to act as though there still isn't that struggle today. That's why I mentioned in the comments earlier that even though black women are the highest educated and the fastest growing percentage of homeowners, we still are paid significantly less than our counterparts. And as far as the bank loans go, it was Navy Federal, Wells Fargo, and I think Bank of America that were just sued within the past 3 years, and they lost those lawsuits because they were denying qualified. They were denying qualified black applicants loans over white applicants who were lesser qualified. So to act as though all we need is to work on our credit and have a better attitude was so frustrating to have to listen to.
Exactly.
And it's white
Very, very
supremacist
frustrating.
talking points, Issa.
Exactly.
That's what was getting me. It was white supremacist talking points coming
And
from
what's
black.
sad is he doesn't see that. I mean, you don't have to agree with me. And he was like, I agree with you guys. I'm saying this, but then he'd go back to the talking points. Oh, I agree with you guys. You're right.
Yeah. He kept saying, "You're not listening to me." That's the problem. That was the problem. He kept talking nonsense.
Yeah, like because the Popeyes is cleaner in the Mexican. I mean, I could understand that, and I didn't understand that one either.
No, that's why I ignored it. Y'all see, you saw I completely ignored it, right? I was like, I wasn't even gonna get into that. I completely ignored it because I'm like, let me just try something else.
I'm gonna follow you, sis.
I'm gonna follow you too. But he was talking about
Wow.
sneakers and single mothers, and I'm like, this man is literally naming every single negative black stereotype on the planet. What is I don't
Listen, it took me for a loop. Do you hear me? And then he's gonna mention how his black mother went to college and did all of this. So you're literally proving the point that black people have been picking themselves up by the bootstraps.
Exactly.
That's not the problem. The problem is the system that I'm like the system of white supremacy, capitalism, and all of these things that have historically kept the black people out due to racism,
right,
due to anti-blackness.
Mhm.
I'm like, and in his mother's case, dually misogynoir, sexism, and she's a dark-skinned woman, colorism, to leave out those important factors of how his black mother maneuvers through the society, raising children,
right, and it isn't even.
on her own,
But it isn't even
and
just
raising her children to survive in a white supremacist power structure. To not add that context into me was fucking ludicrous.
Something made him
Very
like
ludicrous.
something made him hate himself. I don't know what it is, but something happened along the way that made him hate himself. And it's not as if this issue is new. Look at us through the Reconstruction. People, as soon as people were freed from slavery, there were black people moving up in the world, getting positions in government and all kinds of things. And what did white people do?
Take it away.
Take it away,
Burn it down.
all kinds of things. So they cannot act like we just need to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps when we've been able to do that under the worst circumstances, and we still get pissed on every single time.
And
yet
we
we're
have
still
been under the worst
thriving.
circumstances. Like
That's
to
what I
not
don't
add in the
get. We're
context of
still
like
thriving.
redlining, like Volsey was talking earlier, specifically as being a black American, like redlining specifically is the reason why one of the biggest reasons, not even the only, because we taken like slavery and free labor, all that's a whole other context. But with redlining specifically, it literally I'm like, and due to like the things that you mentioned, Issa, like not being able to get certain loans or being denied loans because of being black. right? These things have literally and all those things put together have literally been the reason why Black people's family, especially Black families, generational wealth gap, Black American families, and versus like white American families, there is a gap in generational wealth, and it is literally not because of hard work, but because of white supremacy.
Exactly. I was just watching, you know what I was doing last night? I couldn't go to sleep and I was watching documentaries on PBS, and I was learning about Pullman porters, because they were instrumental in the beginning of the civil rights movement. Like those were the people who were working on trains that helped the Great Migration, moving Black people from out of the South to the North. And all the times that they were given an opportunity to move upward, there was always somebody to stomp out. Imagine if we were able to capitalize on all those actual gains and them never be stomped out. Where would we be right now?
We would
Exactly.
be a lot
And the
farther.
perfect example is the Homestead Act.
Yep.
They estimate that roughly 40 million white Americans are benefiting from that one piece of legislation that was denied anybody else.
And they were
Black
just given land.
people just couldn't get it. Nobody else but white people could get that Homestead Act land. And now they estimate 40 million people. And there was some person in here that said, it's crazy how you want reparations from people that didn't do anything that didn't do anything to you. And I said, what's sad is, but people are profiting still from the white affirmative action. They're still profiting. There are 40 million people in the Midwest who own land, own homes, own businesses, have generational wealth because policies instituted by this government that totally affirmed white people and excluded everybody else have made them wealthy. Black people are still playing catch up, but what I tried to get Walk on to see is, but we still have more millionaires, more billionaires, more captains of industry. Our women are being the most educated. We still have businesses, not just food stands, not just taco trucks, not just, gardening service. And I'm not knocking nobody. We have legit businesses, but the two things are not mutually exclusive. Yes, Black people are doing well. We can even say we're doing better economically and the opportunities than we've ever had. But two things can also be true. But yet we're seeing a resurgence of racism that we haven't seen since the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. They are trying to chip away at the Civil Rights Act. They're trying to chip away at the Voting Rights Act. For what? All that
I think they're seeing that we are matching their success with
And they don't want
with
it.
significantly less resources, and they want to cut that down.
It's fear, y'all. It's
What
all
they're saying,
fear.
we're taking that dollar and turning it into $5, and they're saying, okay, let's give them 50 cents and see what they do.
Yep.
You're
Exactly.
absolutely right.
Can
You're
y'all
absolutely
pause real quick? I'm sorry, y'all can pause real quick. Kyle, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yes, I am.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I have to drop you
I'm
guys, but
going
it was
along
so
with-
good. I'll be listening.
I appreciate you, Issa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yes,
Kyle, you're probably gonna be my. I'm sorry, Kyle. Give me 1 second. You're probably gonna be my last guest, just to let everybody know. I do appreciate everybody being up here tonight. But Kyle, I think you were friendly. But go ahead, and finish what you were saying.
Yes, I agree with most of what the other commenters were speaking about. It's fear. White folks fear Black people because we're dominant. Because you got to remember, in the Tulsa, the last 5 people that survived, they was in their hundreds or whatever. They overheard white people saying, "These niggas got more than us," and that's a fear, jealousy, and they've always been feared. They know that we are a dominant people. We're strong people. That's why they brought us over on a slave ship in the first place, to build this country that we build. And they'll fear us, and they'll never accept us because they fear us. They're envious of us. Just like the brother just said, we did so much after we done went through slavery, redlining, racism, discrimination, all kinds of injustices. We still here and still thriving. White people, and we catching up to white people, and they had about 100-year jump on us, and we right there with them. And they say that just shows that we're superior in a sense, not in a negative sense, but in a positive sense, because we did bring civilization to them, and everybody else. But that's what I got to say. They fear us, and they're never going to. They know that we had a fair playing ground, we would go, we would pass them. We would be in another universe, and they'll still be on the planet. So that's what I got to say. They just don't. They fear us, and they're very envious of us. That's why they try to copy our culture, appropriate our culture, and then say they started it, and but they don't want to treat us fairly in this justice system. So we got people that's psychopathic. They sick mentally and emotionally. They psychopaths and sociopaths. So there's nothing we can do about that. We just got to keep moving, doing what our ancestors want us to do and what the universe wants us to do. That's all I got to say.
All right. I appreciate you, Kyle. Amazing. Appreciate you. And yeah, I appreciate everybody else who's been up on the stage tonight. I am going to get out of here. I did make it to 20K likes on this one. And it did get a little hectic. But, Kay, I appreciate you for being patient. I've never seen Kay be this patient.
I tried my best.
No, it's all good. I have never seen Kay be that patient, y'all. Never.
Listen, I tried with my whole being to not cuss him out. I gave him so much space, so much. But at the end, I had enough. I had enough. Do you hear me? Because I was just like, he's like bootlegging to you. I'm like, as a Haitian, and I'm like, you self-hating Negro. Like,
You know what though, guys? I often wonder, like, when you look at the Bryans and the Thomases and all of those ilk, I often wonder what hurt them. You know, what it just couldn't, was it just being poor? Was it just, you thought, like, what made these people think that the more they operated within the system of white supremacy, that it would be better for them? Because one thing about white supremacy, it will elevate a few. It will elevate Clarence Thomas. It will elevate a handful of black people. Black
Candace Owens is in the state.
They elevated him all through that campaign, didn't they? But as soon as it was over with, what they do? Kicked his ass back to Ohio. So they will elevate a few here and there. But I always wonder, knowing what you know and seeing what you see, how can you not? What got you there? Who hurt you? You know what I mean? That's like what? Who or what hurt
And
you?
even Candace
Damn
Owens, like Candace Owens, for example, is one of the best grifters. Like the best, because
Yeah, she's
Candace
gripping,
Owens
definitely.
knows, because she knows full on well, like as a black woman, what she has been through. Because I remember a story like here, like a few years ago, like when she was in college or was high school. I forget which one
No, it was
was.
high school, and she sued her high school for discrimination with the
Yep.
NAACP, and she got $50,000.
And then for you to talk shit about the WNSPECA when you as a black girl were
Because that's that anti-black money she can get, and it's lining her pockets. That's what Jeff Mead. That's what all of them. They'd rather have. But honestly, you know what? Some of them really are like, if y'all seen Boondocks, we really got a lot of Uncle Ruckuses in our community. We really got a lot.
so many.
When that black
There's a
woman
whole
got
lot of
up there and said she was voting for Trump because she didn't think Kamala Harris would be a strong woman, that she would stand up to Putin them. And I said, you are a black woman. If I ever wanted to reach to a screen, and I'm not for domestic violence, if I ever wanted to slap a woman, to sit there and say black women are not strong, black women are not vital. I mean, I'm like, we have black people that are saying, well, I don't think she could be president because, you know, she's a woman. I don't think she could stand up to a man. I'm like, what fucking bizarro world?
Like you're talking about us as a group of women who literally stood up against dogs and fucking bloodhounds and
Like, how could you
and
not?
gas not only during the civil rights movement but
But no, but
also
Kay,
defending our
you
community
stood
during
up to white men raping you at will. You
Yes.
stood
Yeah.
up to white men selling your children. You stood up to white men walking into your house telling your husband to go the fuck outside where he laid up with you and you couldn't say no. Black women have stood up with being fucking experimented on and they're not strong. And for other, like, I don't understand where these fucking people, man.
You know what I was thinking when she said that DPH. Yeah, I remember Wayne Brady on the Chappelle Show, that skit, that Wayne Brady skit on the Chappelle Show.
A classic, yes.
Yeah, I was thinking that famous line. I was like, bruh, I don't want to promote domestic violence, but when I heard her say that, I was like, yo, we need Wayne Brady right now to say that line.
Oh yeah, but
It's like, are you serious?
I was so old. Listen,
Like
I
how?
have been over these coons and these Uncle Ruckuses and all of these things. Like I'm so over it. It's so because like I'm like and Volsi, you can tell DP, I am never that patient. Ever.
Never,
I
never.
was quick.
I was so surprised that you're that patient. I'm like, man, she gonna block this man really quick. But the fact that I was able to,
Only given that much space because it was just I said, okay, it's Volsi's live. I know he trying to build up his following and stuff.
Mhm.
So let me keep it cute. Let me be classy. Let me be demure. Let me be
But you know
let me
what
be
though?
a lady on this
He
live.
kept
But
speaking
and
of
you,
disrespect, but he didn't see how what he's saying was disrespectful.
he didn't.
That's what I couldn't get that disconnect. I couldn't get that kind of like he didn't understand that his talking points
as a
were
black
white
man, you
supremacist
don't
talking
understand
points,
that it's
and he couldn't understand that.
disrespectful.
If
Yeah,
he
I
could
think
have
he
been
was
decent,
Boule. I
honest,
think he was
bad,
Boule, y'all.
I could have rocked with him. But he just could not understand what he was saying. Oh, and Vika said, I'm blacker than all y'all. Where did that come from? Like, what?
What
Where
does
did
that
that come
mean?
from, bro? I
Where
was
did
like,
that come
yo,
from?
where
I'm
did
blacker
What
than,
does
if you
being,
want to get down
well,
to it,
who's talking
I'm
about being
blacker than all y'all.
blacker or what?
Huh?
We're all black people on the line.
Because
We
you
all
see,
have
but see,
black experience.
and that's how you know he got itchy because he was trying to equate, oh, I come from a single home. That's black people. Oh, my mama struggled. That's black
I'm like,
people.
and I caught that too. Like, what
You
does
know,
that
I
have to
didn't
do
finish
with
college.
blackness?
You know, I didn't get a high
nothing?
degree. That's black people. My brother been in prison all his life. That's black
That's
people.
black
You
people.
see
I'm
that?
like, bro, you really going down a really stereotypical path, aren't you?
Because
Issa
I
said in the
caught that
comments.
anti-blackness. Because
Yeah,
I was
Issa said in the
like,
comments, like you're going on a really stereotype path. Like, what's gonna be next? You
I'm like,
sag your pants?
his
Like, what's gonna
whole
be next?
Yeah, you know,
literally,
like
and when he
what?
and then to go on his own black mother, I want to cuss his ass out dead. It took mostly. I don't think you understand how much
No, listen. If you did, I wouldn't have been mad at all. I'd be like, bruh, like you were asking for it. That's why I was being quiet. I was like, he is asking for it. He is asking
I'm like,
for it.
and Volsi, you know me. You
Mhm.
know me how I give up. I was itching.
Mm. Yeah, I was expecting it too. That's why I was quiet. I was like, okay, Cake, I'm about to cuss him out. So let me just go ahead and be quiet right now. Yeah, man. All right, but y'all, let me go ahead and.
Itching. I was beyond itching because I was so aggravated because I was trying and I
Nah,
was
next time it happens, you can go ahead and cuss them out, like, cause you were patient for me tonight.
I was also trying to let the men speak and have their conversation. So so that was also like I think I'm like okay, like what was his name was up here and like okay he can handle
Evolving.
himself like the men are having a conversation let men do men shit girl like but just and once I get tired of him I can get his ass out of here anyway so but
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
like,
You
but
did
I
really
was
well. I
thinking
appreciate you guys.
because another man was speaking to him and another black man. I was hoping that like maybe
would get
some
it, right?
resolution could come up because let me be clear. Any like thing I would say, I just felt like it was going to be like misogynoir and sexism clouding his lens to begin
It
with.
is.
So it wasn't going to anything I said was not going to get to him anyway.
Well, y'all,
Simple.
I'm getting out of here. I'm
Hey.
following all y'all. Please alert me when y'all come back up again, because
Oh, definitely.
I definitely love just, man, like I said, this is what we need to do. Ain't no more marching. Ain't no more signing nobody else's
We
call.
black women
We
said
just
that
need
we
to get on
done
here. We need to
for the
talk
next
to
4
each other,
years.
talk our shit out. Even with dude, hash our shit out. Disagree, agree to not agree, cuss each other out. But we still need to come together, and out of that, we can still strategize. We can
Exactly.
still share information and help each other, because these are going to be some dark times we going into. But I'm not, maybe I'm not worried about these white folk, because I just, man, I'm 60 years old, and I done seen the good and the bad. It don't bother me. It don't. I'm more worried for other people than I am for myself. You know what I mean? I'm more worried for how because they don't know the struggle and they can't handle the struggle. That's why they up here imploding, having fucking anxiety, crying and bullshit, regretting they vote, because y'all ain't never been at the bottom. But
Yeah.
when you have been at the bottom, like I tell people,
My dad is in
y'all
his
worried about the
60s. He
price
was
of
the
eggs.
first in our whole
It ain't
family
nothing for me to
line to
make a
go to an
motherfucking
integrated
ketchup
school.
sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Y'all the ones that's gonna not get it. But hey,
And you know what? Just to give a little bit of history, back in the 1920s and 30s, the United States invaded Haiti, right? My grandfather was part of the rebellions to get the white Marines out of there. You know what I
But
mean?
black
So it's
people
like,
don't do shit. Like really,
yeah, it's
like what are you? Was he talking about?
exactly. So these dark times I'm seeing, I'm like, yo, if I see Marines invading Chicago, I gotta put the spirit of my grandfather on me and defend my brothers. You know what I mean?
You
So,
sir, like I'm like he had
These white
so
folk
much.
can
Like,
get crazy,
did
but
you
we're not
clock that
going back.
misogynoir, you
We're
sir?
not
Like
going
bring.
back. Like I will die on. I will die standing than live on my knees with these white folk. I do. I
Just say something.
it comes down to it, picking up arms because I will not. I will not go back to nothing. I'm just not. But one thing I do have faith in white people is, and I'm gonna end on this. One thing that's true about white people: when you start fucking with their money, their interests, they will do a regime change. You better ask Lincoln. You better ask Kennedy.
And I'm like, and really, that's what the whole DEI and like
White people make
affirmative
other white people
action
scared,
and all of that
they will
stuff is
kill each other.
about.
That's what they will do. So everybody worried about Donald Trump. I said he get too far out there with his people. The right white folk will make a regime change. They will make a regime change because they've done it before. Now it may
But
be a
DP,
crazy
that was
white
with
person, or
the
it might be within the
overthrowing of like
government.
DEI and affirmative action and Project 2025 is all about, because that, let's be real, they don't want to have to fight on like an even ground with black people specifically. They don't want to have to do that. Right? You mentioned like us as black women being the most educated demographic, and um they don't want to have to fight on an even playing ground, because even with that and all of those accomplishments, we are still underpaid horribly. Like it is so bad. We still have like patriarchal and white supremacist um structures that we have to overcome: sexism, racism, misogynoir, all of these different things. And um I'm like, and so we have so many barriers that we have to go through. And so um I'm like, so having to fight on a fair ground is like would fuck with their money, because let's be clear, if I'm like, whiteness is mediocrity. They would never get far if they had to fight. They had to work on even ground.
And let me tell y'all this right quick. If
Hey,
y'all ever
I'm sorry, DPH. Let me give me 1 second. All right, so I got 2 people named Robert in the comments who are just yapping and crashing out. Listen, y'all, stop chatting to the comments. Request and actually come on up and discuss some things, and don't be cowards, please.
Oh, there goes
My bad,
Robert
DPH. My bad.
There go Robert right there. Robert Evans.
There's Robert Evans. All right, Robert Evans, go ahead and wait your turn. DPH wants to finish. DPH, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead on. I'm done. That was just a joke gonna be between us. No, go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right, cool. Let me unmute him. All right, so Robert, are you over 18? And I'm sure you disagree with something what we're talking about, correct?
Yes, I'm over 18. I couldn't hear you. I'm at work. That's why I had to go in the office.
All right, not a problem. What are we fair mongering about, and what do we need to stop?
You were talking about white supremacy. This is dark times. Are you kidding me?
Yes, it is dark times, and we are living in a time of white supremacy. Why do you disagree?
Why do I disagree? Dark times is back in 100 years ago. That's not that. You're living good right now. That's why you're on this platform now.
Let me ask you a question. 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 Let me ask you a question, Robert. Let me ask you a question, Robert. Let me ask you a question, Robert. So, Robert. Yeah, thank you very much, Kay. Thank you very much, Kay. All right, so Robert, let me ask you a question. Recently, did the president of El Salvador say he's going to take American citizens into his prisons, and the president of the United States say he's going to let that happen?
You could come off of mute now.
I don't care.
That's not what I asked you. Did that happen or did it not happen?
He said prisoners. He's going to take American prisoners. Yeah.
And put them to another country, right?
Yeah.
That's slave trading.
Whatever you want to call it.
No, it's not whatever I want to call it. It's literally slave trading.
Prison is a slave trade. Is slavery? Anyway.
Is prison slavery?
Prison slavery, ain't it?
Exactly. So if prison is slavery and he's sending American citizens over to another country, trading them over there, that's slave trade. How is that not a dark time?
It's not dark times, man. He's not.
Oh, so you're good. You're good with slave trade then. So you're okay with slave trading? You're okay with slave trading, Robert?
Slave trading?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so if the president of the United States is open to slave trading, how is that not a bad thing?
For one, that's not happening. Y'all paying attention to the wrong thing.
What do you mean pay attention to the wrong thing? Did he not say that was going to happen?
The greatest
not
part
say
about
what?
it, Trump does this all the time. It's not going to happen because you got to go through too much legal procedures to even happen. So stop it. You can't set it.
Just say you're trolling, sir. Just say you're trolling and wasting everybody's time.
You might as well say you're trolling.
Just
bro.
say you're trolling. Stop.
I'm not trolling.
So you're not trolling.
No, I'm not trolling at all. Why would I
Okay,
troll?
so if the president of the United States is saying that he wants to go ahead and slave trade, how is that not a bad thing?
Turn your camera on.
He didn't say.
Robert, are you
If
black?
you're not trolling, turn your camera on.
Huh?
Are you black or non-black?
I'm black. Well, what the hell?
Okay,
you're
so
a
you are
black
black.
man?
Okay, so Robert,
Turn your
what
camera
do you
on.
think? Okay, so if you're saying we're not in the dark times, do you
Hold on.
understand what we mean when we say dark times?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, so let me explain to you when I say dark times, I'm talking about advancements that our forefathers, people that look like you and your mother and your father fought for with things like the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, and they're trying to dismantle those. Those are dark times to me. When we go into the federal government and we have non-elected persons with a noted history of anti-blackness and racism now having access to our government at unparalleled levels that's never happened before, that's dark times. When a white team man, let me finish. When a white team man at a presidential inauguration stands up and gives a Nazi salute, that to me, my brother, is dark times. When black women are simply doing nothing but trying to uplift other black women legitimately, legally, to have a piece of this American dreams, and white men use their judicial system to knock them down because white women can't get what these black women are getting when they already are the number 2 in the country. That's dark times to me, my God.
My
So
God,
that's when you say dark
black women
times,
has done many
we're
things.
talking about the Constitution that black people have fought and died and bled for being totally trampled upon by someone who said he wants to be a dictator from day. Those are dark times, Robert.
No, absolutely not.
All right,
Why
you
not?
trolling us, bro. I'm gonna let you down because you're trolling us if you think that's not dark.
It's not to me. You can
Okay.
let
All
me
right, how was
Well, let me just ask him though. What would
let
be
me
dark
down?
to you?
Bye.
What
It's
would
not.
be dark to you, Robert?
Robert, how was a Nazi being close to the president not dark to you? How's that? Where are these coons coming from? Like where are they coming from?
No, bro. That's not a coon. That's something else.
Listen,
That's
no,
something
I
else.
kicked you, Robert. Put a name to it, bitch. I did. and if you act up, bitch, I'm gonna kick you out this live.
I don't know. Like,
They
but I really want
Tay
to know what
kicked
he
me.
thought dark was, because that's not dark to him.
Yeah, what is dark to him if that's not
to
dark?
him.
I don't get it. WK, I gotta get you your own sticker
Threatening
case
the
so people can get.
Constitution is not dark. That threatening the Constitution. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Because people don't understand. If they start threatening the Constitution and trying to wipe out them amendments, you know what the 13th Amendment was. I know that's kind of far-fetched for people, but hey, you know what I'm saying? When you start picking away at stuff, like what's next? And he doesn't think that's dark to, oh wow.
No, that's all I can say as well. Wow. It's man.
I would hate to see his dark times must be 1842 and 1845 and 1793. That's what he must mean by dark, when they could kill us and and rape us and lynch us and go have fucking beers after. I guess that's what he means by dark times.
I guess that's what he means for sure. Let me go ahead and get out of here, man. That was gonna be my last
I can't
guess.
take no more, brother.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. All right,
so
but
much for having me out too.
No problem, Evolving, man. I do appreciate you guys both. Please come around the next time. I have a YouTube channel as well. It's the same thing, Volsy Thoughts. You'll be able to see this entire replay on mine, and I'll see if I can put some clips up as well. But I appreciate you guys being up here. All right.
You got it, bro. God bless and bye.
Be safe out there.
All right. Be safe, y'all. Be safe. I appreciate everybody who's here. We got to 20K likes and 33 people in here. Child Free, I appreciate you being here. I did see you on Instagram, Child Free. I did see you on Instagram. I appreciate you for commenting on there. I appreciate everybody who is on my YouTube watching right now. And I appreciate everybody who did watch on Instagram. You guys are amazing. I saw y'all come up and start watching. So I appreciate all the Instagram watchers. I appreciate all the YouTube watchers and commenters. And I appreciate everybody on TikTok and my whole panel. You guys are amazing. I love you all. And again, I do have a YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube. And we'll be doing more of these. Our next live is going to be, what day is this? Today is Saturday. The next live, let's do it Tuesday. Yeah, next live will be on Tuesday again, and I'll again do run the same topic. I do a topic every Tuesday, Saturday, and Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. All right, so feelings don't matter. You can come up later. You're too late. I'm about to get off this live because I already know what you're trying to say, and it's stupid. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this live now, guys. So every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, unless my schedule change, come join me. And I will see you guys later. Please subscribe to my YouTube, Volsy Thoughts. Please subscribe here if you would like to see more of these stickers and emojis. I have some awesome stickers, some awesome emojis. You know what I mean? Some awesome stickers, some awesome emojis. And I hope to see y'all soon. So please subscribe and you'll be able to get access to those. I appreciate y'all.